Do, 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 do.
Welcome to Wednesday Night Live from the Basement. Here's your hosts, Rob, Daryl, and Joe.
Good evening, everybody. It is Wednesday. I'm in my basement, and that is Joe, and that is Daryl, and that is Sam. How you doing, gentlemen?
Good, thanks. Good.
Everybody good? Sam? Sam looks like he's frozen.
He does. Yeah.
Yeah.
He does.
Either that or he's really bored already. There he
Very
is.
intense. Very intense this evening. Yeah, that's
How you
right.
doing, Sam?
I'm doing good. Are we all in our basement? Daryl, are you a basement guy?
I have like a bungalow kind of house, so it's one floor.
I was going to say, you probably, if anything, have a crawl space. There, you'd be like laying on
It
the
is
floor.
it is a crawl space. A literal space. You can't even walk under it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Sam, yours is basement? Because I don't know. This is, I mean, I've seen videos, so the background, but I this is the new house, right?
It's the new house. Just a sneak peek. I mean, obviously, I've got different artwork behind me, but I mean, there's stuff over there. There's
That's not just me again, right?
No,
That's
that's Sam with slow internet.
He'll come back. He'll be back.
Oh, Sam's like, screw it, I'm out of here. All
Yeah.
right. Well,
Reboot.
Richard, how you doing?
Those
Buenos
nachos. Holy cow. Already
Sure.
into the food.
Yum, yum. Tim, how you doing? Welcome.
Tim, haven't seen you for a while. Nice to see you.
Yeah, Tim's been too busy going to shows, so he texted me earlier today saying, I don't have a show tonight, so I'm going to watch the live stream.
Excellent. That's good.
And then Sam's back.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll just be quiet.
Just, yeah. Don't spin the camera. Nothing. Just sit there. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll just.
Yeah.
And there's Curtis. Welcome, sir. How you doing?
Hi, Curtis.
What's new in the world, guys? Joe, what's going on at the store?
Store was good. Store was busy. We were open on Saturday. We had Super Saturday, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, we had buy one, get one half off. And a lot of people came in and bought one and got one half off. So it was good.
Good.
So, we know what we paid for them. So we're still making money. And it was good because there was another, I think I told you before, there was another pop-up that was kind of in the neighborhood in the warehouse district where we are. So there was lots of people around and, some came to us first and then went to them and vice versa. So it was good. Like I said, sold a lot of bigger tickets because that way, and we didn't bullshit people and go, okay, if you buy a 75, and 250s, you get the 250s half off. No, a 75, you got a half off the 75. No jerking around people and things like that. So there was some bigger titles went, and it was good, and it's good. I bought, I don't know, another 100 records the other day. I got to go look at 8 boxes tomorrow, and then there's a guy that sent me a picture of a loaded Calyx 20 shelf that said, "Do you guys buy records?" So we'll see. I'll go look at them. It depends what'll happen after that. So
You might be busy.
yeah, it might be. Hopefully,
Might be busy.
yeah.
Leslie, welcome. M. Sean Chapman, welcome. Sam says give him a second. He's having some computer issues, so we'll give him a second.
How does that work? Never computer issues.
Never happens. Daryl
And Metallica. Daryl's got, that's a cool Metallica shirt. What is that part of?
I got it's Damaged Justice. I don't know what that is, but Damaged Justice. I got it at Giant Tiger for like $5.
Nice. There you go. Excellent. Excellent.
how's school going, Daryl? Everyone, back in the full swing of things and thrilled to be there.
Well, I had to deal with some interesting stuff yesterday. We'll put it that way. Never thought I'd see the day that I'd see 2 kids karate kicking each other in the kitchen, but apparently I see something new every year after 17 years in the kitchen. So, yeah, you know how it is. Today was picture day, so I didn't do any lab work because it's a pain if you got kids getting pulled all the time. So I just said, here's some safety work. Have fun.
Yeah.
They love that.
Oh, I'm sure they
But
do.
other than that, it's really good. I was actually listening. So I'm teaching World War I right now in my history class that I'm doing. And I don't know if you guys have heard of them. There's a band called Sabaton, and
No.
all of their music, it's like metal music, but all their music, they sing about historical events. There's an entire album dedicated to just World War One.
Really? Wow.
It starts with a song called Sarajevo and ends with a song called Versailles. It's pretty cool music.
That'll do it.
You're into
Yeah.
that. It's neat.
That's good. That's good. Speaking of the 6 boxes of records I have to go look at, the lady said, do you take cassettes? And I said, no, not really. We're not getting into that. She goes, it's okay. It's all Icelandic music anyway. So I may still pick it up. We'll see. And you may get a whole bunch of Icelandic cassettes. We'll see, because I know your love of the genre. I don't imagine it's going to be the same Icelandic music as you've got on the albums, but because the lady sounded possibly in her 80s, possibly. I shouldn't say that 100% because I didn't meet her, but she said she's got stuff from the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, and then Icelandic cassettes. So we'll see. Never
As
know.
one would expect to have Icelandic cassettes.
Got to go look.
Trevor's got that Metallica shirt, but all black from Monsters of Rock in '88. So there you go.
That's awesome. You need to get a shirt where someone do up like a logo. Get some artist to do a logo, the legend, but then on the back you have to have the goat, or vice versa. One or the other. You gotta make you should have had that for picture day, man.
Yeah, did I tell you guys that I got called the goat last week?
Yes.
Yeah,
Last
you
week.
said- yeah.
That's funny.
That's good. That's good. And Rob, I know if you were honest, you'd say you're having a shitty day. But how about in general, and how about now that we've started to talk about this? How about that?
Still having a shitty day. Work
Okay.
sucks.
Okay.
My stress level is through the roof. But more importantly, my Blue Jays are shit in the fucking bed.
Yeah.
And I apologize for the profanity, but baseball,
It's just frustrating, right?
a week and a half left in the season. We had a 5-game lead on the Yankees, and we looked pretty solid to win the AL East for the first time since 2015, and the second time since 1993. So it's been a long time. And in typical Toronto sports teams fashion, when the pressure hits, we shit the bed.
Yeah.
So we have lost, I think, 5 of our last 6. And all those games that we lost, we scored 1 run. You can't win a game scoring 1 run. So now we're a game ahead of the Yankees, plus we have the tiebreaker in our pocket. We went from looking like the division was almost a sure thing. We've clinched the wild card at the very least.
Yeah.
We could go from looks like we were comfortably going to win the division and get a bye into the second round and have home field advantage to playing in the wild card, which is probably what's going to happen. Like, the Yankees have to win 5 of the last 6 games, and we can't win any more than 2. Well, we haven't won any. So of course, coming on here tonight, I'm not watching the game because I'm doing this. And anytime I watch, they play shitty. So I pull this up and I'm like, oh, of course. What are we doing? Losing again. 3-0 to Boston, who we've beat pretty much all season. So, and what's New York doing? Winning. So I'm not wearing a Toronto Blue Jays hat tonight because I'm pissed.
That's
I'm
right.
wearing a Dunedin Blue Jays because they're our single A team. And I bet if we had them on the field playing the Boston Red Sox, they'd be doing better than those ass clowns in Toronto. I'm mad. I'm fired up. Let's talk about records, damn it.
Okay. Good. We'll do that.
That felt better.
Winning. Yeah, winning. I watched the Charlie Sheen documentary. I don't know if I could recommend that, but it's interesting. And I'm not like a watch a train wreck kind of a guy, but I always enjoyed him. I thought he was good in the movies he was in. I thought he was good on 2.5 Men. I also know he's a complete fucking shit show. But it was okay. It was okay. It was a good waste of 3 hours, I suppose.
It's better than watching the Blue Jays shit the bed.
Sure. Okay. I'll give you that. Yeah. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess Sam's not coming back. I don't know. I guess his internet just. Oh, speak of the devil.
Hey,
Sam
look.
has entered the studio. Let me
There he
just
is.
wait for his camera to turn on here.
He's
Here we
coming
go.
back.
Here we go. Sam. Bueller.
I'm here. I don't know what so my laptop for some reason hates StreamYard. And so I always have these issues when I'm, trying to do interviews or whatever, but it's always like when I'm a guest, it seems to be a major factor. And so like I've been using the last few times I've done collaborations, I've had to use my wife's iPad. And so I just had to run upstairs. She's not here right now. I had to find her iPad, plug that in, figure it all out. So that's where we are. So sorry about that, but I am here. Hopefully this usually doesn't screw up. So
I had an old laptop that did the same thing when I very first started YouTube. I tried to do a couple live streams with people as a guest. It crapped out all the time. So,
but it's just StreamYard. It's weird.
I know. It's weird.
And my laptop, I just got this laptop for my birthday a year and a half ago. So it's not an old laptop.
Yeah, it's weird that it would even start. If it wasn't going to work, it wouldn't work. But it's weird that it starts and then dies on you. But anyway.
Yeah. So
technology is fickle. Technology is fickle. So, Sam, you're all settled in to married life, new city, new house. The music room's all set up, all the important stuff.
Pretty much, yeah. The music room right now, I've just got a few random posters that I still want to hang that I had at the old place. And I have some boxes of stuff like, those plastic storage boxes that I just got to find a place for. And then some a couple of boxes, like cardboard boxes that just had like stuff from my drawers, like at the apartment that I need to figure out where to go. So, like last night we were down here, I was sitting on the floor just going through old like college papers that I still had and just, going through that stuff just to kind of clean it up a bit. So, but yes, everything's going good.
My college papers are on the side of the cave still. So,
right.
Yeah.
I was looking through a box for something the other day, and I found all university. That's what we call it up here. I found the whole fucking stack of all my university papers. I didn't even know I still had those. So there they are. Yep. So,
no.
Well, our topic tonight is, happy wife, happy life. Now that Sam's a married man, it seemed fitting that he should. He's got the finger handcuff on there. Seems fitting he should join us, and we just thought, not an original idea. You came up with this, didn't you, Daryl? This was your idea?
Yeah, I was thinking about it, and I said, hey, why don't we see if we can get our wives to pick albums? I know that, like yours and your wife and my wife, they're not going to come on here live, right? So
Never.
It'd be kind of cool to have them maybe pick our albums.
Right.
Funny enough, my two sons got in on it, and they picked an album each too. So that's
all good.
Hey, family affair.
That's
all
good.
It's funny because as we were talking about this, Frank at Channel 33 RPM out near Joe.
Yeah.
He did a video with his wife pulling records this week. Pure coincidence. Frank,
Yep.
We weren't copying you, but imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. So
we decided on this Sunday, and his came out Sunday, but later then. So yeah, yeah, exactly.
Great minds think alike. That's what we're going with.
Perfect. Exactly.
Richard wants to know: do your wives ever scream, "Turn that shit down"?
No, actually,
No.
Joanne's pretty good about it. Mine's never really cranked up that much,
Mine
and so nope,
No.
not mine anyway. So
Yeah.
No,
I've
and
never-
my
I've
wife,
only been
my
married-
wife got a new TV for her birthday, so that's kind of set up it's set up in our room. So if she doesn't want to listen to it, she just gets to go there now.
There you go.
It's interesting because like I've said it on a couple of my videos, but I actually don't have my system down here yet. It's still all up in the home office upstairs. So all of my supplies are down here, but I listen to my music when I'm working because I work at home 5 days a week. So by the time she's home, I've only got less than half an hour left to work, and then by that time we're going about the evening. So
did all the records survive the move? Nothing got no collateral damage.
there was a very close call. It wasn't with records, but some of the same boxes that the records were in. I had a stack of like my music books, and there were some DVDs and stuff in there. And the movers that I hired back at the apartment, because I hired 2 different sets of movers, they were just carrying these boxes down. And the tape, which is a name brand tape, was starting to peel. And this guy was walking down, the 2 flights of stairs in the apartment, and like I could see the books literally hanging out. I ran over to him and like put my I'm gonna help you, my man.
Yeah.
But it was amazing. People that do that for a living. I mean, I filled these, boxes from Lowe's, and I was not packing them to the brim because I'm like, these things are going to be like bricks. So, where I was like, struggling to carry one up the stairs, like I was, sweating. This dude was picking up 2 of them, 3 of them at a time by himself. I mean, the dude was, as tall as an NBA player and, jacked, and was like, man, I'm glad you're doing that and not making me look like a fool.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything survived. The one record, there's one record that I cannot find, and it's a fairly recent record that I got. It was the Robbie Robertson debut. I cannot find that anywhere.
Oh, no.
I don't know where it is.
Uh-oh.
I think it's just been misorganized, but I've gone through my collection several times, and I think it's just going to show up at like the very last minute. I know I've got it here because I've seen it here. I just don't know where it went.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, everything survived for the most part.
So
Cool.
I have a question for Curtis, because he said that his wife does yell at him. Is that because she has low tolerance because of what you're playing, or proximity to where you're playing it? And I'll just look for your answer in the comments. So just wondering.
So what we did, because as Daryl said, my wife and Daryl's wife are no way in hell are we going to appear on your little YouTube shenanigans. But they were happy to pull records. So whether it was kind of up to them. So there you go, Joe, all of the above.
All of the above. Yeah, that's fair.
I said to my wife, and I told these guys, it could be random. It could be ones they want us to talk about. Mine's never going to watch this, so that wasn't the case. It could be ones you're like, why the hell do you own this? You need to tell people why. Whatever criteria they decided, it's got a pretty cover on whatever. Pulled about a dozen records, and we're going to talk about them today. Some of them we've probably talked about before. Some of them we probably haven't. Purely, for all intents and purposes, random for us because we had nothing to do when what got pulled. So Sam is our guest, and the guest always goes first. So take it away, my good man.
So I won't say her name just for her own privacy, but I told her about this whenever it was, Rob, that you asked me, and she was like, is there a theme, like whatever? And I said, he just kind of said, if you want it to be a theme, whatever, if you like what the cover looks like, if it's just records that, you hate and you want me to talk about, whatever. So I asked her this afternoon, I said, did you pull anything in particular? And I haven't seen the records, and I'm going to pull them blind. So like they're underneath like a pillow right now. I haven't seen them yet, so I'm going to pull them out one at a time. And she said that a couple of them had a theme, but then she ran out of records to go with that theme. So then she went with another theme, and so I don't know what's in here. So we shall just start at the top here and work our way down. Okay, all right. So I can see record 1 here. So this is my favorite album by this artist, and this is an interesting version of this. This is Madman Across the Water
Elton.
by Elton. This is the remaster that came out for the 50th anniversary. I need to get it out of this like PVC kind of thing. It's terrible for records.
You know what you should do? You should go to vinylstoragesolutions.ca because they have what you need to store those in.
But you have to use the promo code.
Shipping and get that. But so this is cool. I mean, it's like this cool kind of like blue looking like peppermint almost vinyl. But this is my favorite Elton album. Obviously, the big hits. It starts off with Tiny Dancer, which everybody knows. Levon is on here. Madman Across the Water is on here. Your Song is on here. That's what I should. Your Song is on here. No, sorry, no, I'm making stuff up. Tiny Dancer and Levon are the two big ones. But then he's got these epic songs like Madman Across the Water. Indian Sunset, which is just, if you've never heard Indian Sunset, you need to listen to that song. This is when Elton was kind of hitting that just record after record. Just so many great tracks that were coming out of that guy. I don't know how him and Bernie Taupin were doing it in the early mid 70s. But Madman's definitely my favorite. Even the deep cuts, he does that song Holiday Inn, which, he kind of wrote about touring in America and seeing all the Holiday Inns, and obviously like a lot of, road type songs that musicians write. He was, everything looked the same. It's the same hotel at every city. But fantastic band on here. He has the beginnings of the Elton John band, Nigel Olsson on drums, Davy Johnstone. I don't think Ray Cooper is on here, who would play with him for a lot of his career, but no, this is like the special 50th anniversary. But the reason she pulled this, and I can tell you why she pulled this. So I did not meet my wife until last March. So we started dating in March and were engaged in December. But we were both at the same Elton John concert in 2015. And the funny thing is, she had just gone on a date or a double date with one of her friends and her boyfriend. And they were going to go to the concert and kind of talk about the date. And it wasn't a good date. But it was in the same venue, the same town that I'm currently living in, which at the time was 2 hours away from where I was living. So cool that she pulled this, because that was the first time we were in the same. Well, the second time we were in the same building. There's another instance as well that we found out, but we were both at this concert together in 2015. So kind of a cool little tidbit there.
That's
Very
cool.
cool.
He did Indian Summer the last time that Joanne and I saw him. It was the one that, okay, this is for us kind of song that he did, and it was the Goodbye Yellow Brick Road tour. So that'll be So it was fantastic. It was great.
That's cool because I saw that tour. He didn't do Indian Sunset. That tour went on for like 4 years because of COVID. But
I think they probably threw a couple different ones in the mix, but that happened to be the one that we got in Saskatoon. So
that's cool.
That was cool. Yeah, Indian Sunset, not Indian Summer.
Epic tune.
Completely different thing. Yeah, exactly.
Joe, Daryl, which one of you guys wants to go next?
Daryl, go ahead, sir. You are the goat.
I definitely got to get. I have a lot of Elton John. That's one album I actually don't have. I really got to get that one.
Yeah. And the new mix sounds good too.
Yeah, for sure. And that's a pretty cool, like you said, like a peppermint shaped vinyl. That's really neat, that one.
Yeah.
So apparently my wife was gonna do a theme by decade, probably the 80s, but she just ran out of time. So her and my kids picked the records today, and it's totally random. I have no idea what's in here. It's in a grocery bag, so I'm just gonna reach in and grab them as I pull them.
Perfect.
And see what comes up. So what is the first one? Oh, there we go. Chicago's Greatest Hits, 1982 to 1989. That's fantastic. Growing up, my dad had this one on CD, and I know this album in and out, every song, including the one that's actually on a Criminal Minds episode. I don't know if you guys know that. There's an actual Chicago song on Criminal Minds. Which one is it? All right, You're the Inspiration. That's on Criminal Minds. The very first scene of the episode is a guy playing a piano. It turns out that that it's actually a female killer, not a male. So she goes in to check on it. But yeah, no, this one here. I don't know if Chris Mann is watching tonight, but Greatest Hits right off the bat.
I'm sure if you say Greatest Hits loud enough, he'll show up.
Yeah, that's right. He'll wake up from his sleep. What? Greatest Hits? Oh my.
Yeah, but this has I've talked about Chicago before, and it's no surprise. Like I like Peter Cetera. I like him in his solo days. I like him when he did the duet with Amy Grant, and I like him on all these songs. So, like I said, I mean, I can sing everything through. My dad used to play this like every day. I don't even know, like if my dad still had this on compact disc, it probably would be having to be replaced. It was played so much in my house. So it's kind of funny that my wife pulled this one. It's got everything. All their 80s stuff, like I said, 82 to 89. Hard to Say I'm Sorry, Look Away, Stay the Night. What kind of man would I be? You're the inspiration. I don't want to live without your love and more. So yeah, this is really cool. If there was ever a band that back in the day I wish I could have seen, especially when they were full on with their like brass instruments and all that kind of stuff. I'm not saying they don't do it. But when they were in their full on brass section, I think that would have been a really cool concert to see. I don't know if either of you have seen Chicago in concert, but
Nope.
probably would have been really neat to see. And yeah, I prefer their 80s stuff over their 70s stuff, but I got tons of Chicago in my collection. So really cool. Greatest hits. There you go.
Now, do you know? I guess you don't, because you don't know what they all picked for you because you've got them hidden. So you're going to have to ask as you go along to see which one the boys picked versus which ones your wife picked, right? So
Yeah.
cool. And I have two questions. Well, I have a question and a statement. Is that a keganator behind you, or is that an espresso machine right behind you?
That is a kegerator. That's what do they call? I forget what that's called. It's a beer tender.
Very nice. Cool.
I haven't used it in a long time.
Yeah.
One of these days, I got to get it up and running. And then on my other side, I actually have a right there. It's like it's got 3 bottle dispensers, but I haven't used that in years. You put the bottle in upside down, and then you pull on this thing, and it pours shots.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We used to have
When I
those at
first
the bar.
moved, when I first moved up here, when I was a young teacher, all of the young teachers were just party ridiculous up here. So we used to use that. I don't do that anymore. It's too much.
That's fair. That's fair. And my comment was, I love the posters. Are those new? Again, Sam, that is. I know the M&Ms are new, kind of, but the Sam, your posters, the Avett brothers, are those new, or have I just not paid any attention?
No, I'm sorry for stepping away. This iPad, I had to get it charged up, so it's got a short cord, so I had to rearrange myself here. But no, these were from they did 3 shows up near DC back in 2023, and I went to 2 of them, the last 2 shows.
Okay.
But you could get all 3 posters, and so I've got all 3. But they were in my bedroom at the apartment, so they never made an appearance on my channel. But they're 2 years old. Yeah.
Awesome. Love them. They're great.
Oh.
They're great. All right.
Joe.
Me? Sure.
You.
Yeah. So I don't know if there was a theme. In fact, I'm fairly certain that there wasn't, other than, hey, did you go pick those albums yet? Oh shit. No, I didn't. So, and then I went out for a while actually. So I haven't seen them. They're kind of wrapped up in a blanket here. I have no idea what Joanne picked. And so here we go. We'll just, we'll kind of blind shot here. And let's see if I know what I'm talking about. I don't ever know what I'm talking about regardless. But anyway, what do we got? Oh, well, there you go. I talk about these guys all the time. I don't know if I've shown this one. Probably. This is one of those albums that came after The Monster right before it, right? If I remember correctly, because this was right after American Idiot. So those got to be the toughest albums. And sometimes they're very, very good, because sometimes they got a little stuff that maybe didn't make the one right before it. But yeah, this is good. And you know, the big hit, obviously, what were they on here? What was all on here? 21st Century Breakdown. Isn't Time of Our Life on this one?
Know Your Enemy is on there.
Yeah.
No,
Know Your Enemy. Yeah, that's I love that song. That's great. 21 Guns is on here as well. So, yeah. So it's good. You know, I these guys have stayed fairly solid. I don't dislike any of their stuff. There's certain ones that will certainly play better to me than the other ones, but that falls in probably into the top 5 or 6 at least anyhow. So yeah, there you go. Oh, it's a gatefold. Hold on. I think, yeah, it's a gatefold. I'm going to take it out of its vinyl storage solutions.ca sleeve. What do we got? Oh, we got a little bit of art there. We got some Banksy looking stuff, the class of 13. And then I don't know the story behind this, but I bet there is a story, which that'll be your homework, everybody, is go and figure out what this is. So we have the art of Banksy up in Saskatoon. I was going to drive up to go and see it. I think that'd be fairly cool. I think that's a bit of a touring show, kind of like that, kind of like the Picasso one where they put it all on the floor and things like that. But I think that'd be kind of interesting. I don't profess to be the highest art aficionado by any means, but I do love the graffiti stuff for sure. So I think it'd be kind of cool. But anyway, I digress. There you go. Oh, I forgot. I got a bit of a headache. I'm just going to take a Tylenol. Does anyone need a Tylenol at all?
Just be careful. You don't end up with autism.
Well, it may look like I'm pregnant, but I'm not pregnant. So I'm just going to take a I'm done. You're up, Rob.
All right. I don't have mine under a blanket like you guys do. I can get StreamYard to toggle the damn pictures.
But what about your records?
Yeah.
Very nice.
StreamYard has been so glitchy lately. Come on.
Amen to that.
Let's try this again. Come on, StreamYard.
I did see it was crazy. I think Skype finally bit the bullet last week officially.
Did it?
Zoom took over, yeah.
Okay. I don't have these under a blanket. There was a big pile. I split it in half, so I do happen to see the top two that are here. I figured the wife would pull something by this artist, so I'm just going to get it out of the way right now. Not that I'm a fan or anything, but we got Taylor Swift, and this is a bootleg. This is it's called So It Goes Tokyo, the Reputation Tour Final Night. This is not obviously the entire show, but this is like 14 songs from the last night of the Eras Tour in Tokyo. Or not the Eras Tour, sorry, the Reputation Tour. I think it's on Colored. Yeah, it's got this kind of like ready sort of whatever. I mean, make no bones about it. I'm a Swiftie, right? So I saw this at my local record store and bought it. And it sounds not bad. It's supposed to be soundboard. Yeah, I can see it. I mean, it's not audiophile, but perfectly listenable. Not a big fan of the Reputation album, so not a big fan of the tour, but bought it anyway because it was something different. So
There you go.
There's the first one.
So is that out of yours or is that out of hers? Because you guys actually have yours kind of separated, right?
Oh yeah, no, not kind of. They are
They are
like
separated.
North and South Korea separated.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah,
This,
but that's out of
this-
yours, not hers.
This was out of mine. She's like, I originally bought it because I thought maybe she would be interested and hoping that she wouldn't. And that was exactly it. She goes, it's a bootleg. I'm not interested. It probably sounds like shit. So I'm like, sweet. I'm going to keep it then.
Life of a Showgirl, October 3rd. One variant or very few variants. There might be more than one, but really, even on her website and all I can get at the shop is the sparkly, glittery orb.
There were, I think, 5 variants that were like one day only kind of things, and they sold out in hours.
Instant, yeah. And then there'll probably maybe be some more at Christmas. But man,
Who knows? I didn't pre-order it. I'll just go to my record store the day that it comes out, and I'll buy it. I'm looking forward to it.
Yep.
I hope it's different than the last stuff because Tortured Poets was fine and Midnights was fine and Folklore and Evermore were fantastic. But after 4 albums of sounding kind of the same, mix it up a little bit. Would be
Switch
nice.
it up. Yeah.
Mhm.
There you go.
What's John saying? Rob's marriage is strong, but the albums are through a separation.
Yeah.
No, the albums are always separate. Always separate.
A
I was
concert. Go ahead.
I had records before she did, and hers are upstairs. Thankfully, our musical tastes are different enough. And I always say, you come down and borrow whatever you want, just return it. She's like, "Ooh, I don't want to mess up your records. And I'm like,
I did have an idea for a video a long time ago. The music that, because a lot of the times they'll go, oh, that's my wife's music, or that's, something that they listen to. That's not, I don't think that's how she picked these. There might be a couple of those in there, but that's another one for down the line, specifically things that they listen to. Because I don't think that's how Joe pulled these ones, but we'll see.
and also, it's 4-0 Boston. Goddamn.
Stop
Blues.
looking.
Keep hoping for a comeback.
Biggest team in comebacks in the league. So, there's that, if nothing else.
Except we haven't come back.
I know.
Another one. I think they're literally going to the plate and they forgot to bring the bat with them. I think that's what the problem is.
It's a bit of a hindrance that way. Yeah, it doesn't work that well. So
It's abysmal. Anyway. Sam, your turn.
oh.
All right. Let's see.
Brian from Tokyo. How you doing, sir? I was
Hey,
just
Brian.
hold on. We got. I got to go back here for a second because Brian just joined us. Brian, I just showed this to bootleg Taylor Swift the last night of the Reputation tour in Tokyo. So there you go. It's called So It Goes Tokyo. Proud of you, man, when she pulled that. So
That's funny. His ears
Yeah.
are burning.
they were. Put Sam back up here. And yeah, Brian, we're showing our StreamYard, you son of a bitch. There we go. Yes, we're showing our wives' picks. So they picked at random or something. So
Well, so far she is she's 2 for 2 and keeping with this theme. So I can so far see what this theme is, but we'll see where the line reaches its end. But this is a record I talk about all the time, and for good reason. It's the Lemon Twigs. A Dream Is All We Know. Again, I will scream this album's name to the rooftops. If you love power pop, jangle pop, hooks, quick 2.5, 3 minute pop tunes that sound like they're from the late 60s, early 70s, get this album. I'm telling you, the Daddario brothers are keeping that sound alive. They're fantastic. And actually, it's funny. I'm sure Rob, you saw this, but McCartney just put out a like 11-minute mini video about his Bowery shows in New York.
yep.
And Brian Daddario actually shows up very briefly in the crowd. He says something. It looks like he's with his girlfriend. But anyway, Lemon Twigs, A Dream Is All We Know. It's fantastic. It's on a cool, I think they call this milkshake white or something. It's just white vinyl. But this was the first concert that my wife and I saw together when we were dating. And the very first song on this album, called My Golden Years, was our first dance at our wedding. So kind of cool that, that kind of had a full circle moment. We saw them last May on Cinco de Mayo. And then the following July, we would be, having their songs played at our wedding. So kind of cool there. But yeah, this is a fantastic record. This is their most recent, as the Lemon Twigs, from 2023, I believe. No, 2024. Sorry. So Dream Is All We Know by the Lemon Twigs. Check it out.
I think we can probably guess what the theme is, Sam.
For at least these, but she did say that she did run out of options. So we'll see when that thread breaks.
Can anyone in the comments tell that Sam's a newlywed? Good for you, man. Enjoy it. My wife lies in bed at night plotting my murder just about every night, I think. So
That's like the old joke, right? The guy's crying on his 25th anniversary. She goes, "Oh, that's nice. You're crying because it's our anniversary." He goes, "No, I'm crying because I probably would have been paroled by now." That's the quick version of it. But anyway,
that's funny. I like that.
that's the edited version. So
I love my wife, but she probably wants to kill me every other day. So, Daryl, you're up.
All right. Number 2. I have no idea what this is.
It's a record.
Oh, well, there we go. My favorite band. She knows.
Hold on, I'm trying to get you here. This StreamYard thing is just. You know what? I'm not putting up a StreamYard, so we got to go with this tonight, fellas.
that works.
Just like this.
Just like this. Damn StreamYard.
All right. So we're gonna look at some 1990s alternative music here. Alternative weird stuff. I've talked about these guys many times. Primus and their Sailing the Seas of Cheese album, which I think it's from 91 or 92. I can't remember. I think I told this story that I grew up in northwestern Ontario. Lots of forest fires were up there all the time. One summer we had this forest fire that was really close to the town. We're talking like 3 to 5 kilometers away kind of thing. And so they warned everybody that you better have your stuff packed and ready to go. Well, what did my dad do? He said, we'll worry about the clothes after. He packed up like boxes of CDs, put it in the back of the vehicle. That's what we brought with us on vacation. This happened to be one of them because he's like, Daryl, you got to pack up your CDs too, man. You don't want those to burn in the house. So we go and we visit my aunt and uncle my cousin Matt, and I got my cousin hooked on Primus too. But this is just some weird, quirky stuff. If you are not familiar with Primus, it's not for everyone. But I would say this is my personal opinion. I think Les Claypool is possibly the best slap bassist on the planet. I have a hard time finding other slap bassists that are as skill leveled as him. And I mean, he's got a ton of other projects. This one has Jerry Was a Race Car Driver is the biggest, I think probably the big single from this one, which is a pretty neat song. I mean, it's about a race car driver that is a drunk and he crashes and kills himself.
Yikes.
But they just had all kinds of quirky songs. Oh yeah, there's the other one, those Damn Blue Collared Tweakers, which they actually performed at Woodstock '94. And in the middle of it, Les Claypool played part of the American national anthem on his bass while he was up there. So it's pretty cool. You know, he's getting pelted by mud and all kinds of stuff playing the American national anthem. So this is a really cool album if you're into that 90s quirky alternative stuff. Like I said, they're kind of akin to maybe like Jackal in a way. I don't know if you guys know familiar with Jackal. They use weird instruments like chainsaws on stage and stuff like that. So
The lumberjack. Yep.
lumberjack music. Yeah. So yeah, I just think this was a cool album. And if we were talking about if my wife had picked the pork soda one, I actually used pork soda in a grade 10 English class as part of a presentation for a genre theme. So yeah, Primus, they're just weird, they're quirky, and probably my favorite band from the 90s.
Wow.
Other than maybe Alice in Chains. Yeah.
So was that your lovely wife pick or was that a boy's pick? Do you know? I guess you don't know. You got to ask.
I know the pick from one of my boys, but I got no idea what the other one is.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I'm thinking that this one must be my wife's because she knows I'm a huge Primus fan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Brian's mentioning that Les sat down with Rick Beato to do an interview, and apparently he doesn't call it slap. He calls it something like plucking and clacking. So there
Okay,
you go.
that's neat. Yeah.
There you go.
Interesting.
Bob's pointing out my girlfriend thinks I'm cheating on her. Sounds just like his wife. That's funny. That's funny. Okay, Joe.
All right. Let's see. I don't think there's a theme, but I guess I have no idea because I've only got one so far. She likes Green Day, and we saw them together. So that if there's going to be a theme, that's the start of it. But let's see what we get. Oh, we get the best of the Bee Gees Volume 2. I'm not sure.
There's a lot of hair on that cover.
There is a lot, and it's not even all on their heads, is it?
Not
Like,
on their
look at
heads.
that. Look at how
Especially Morris.
thick and lush that is. But what do we got? I don't know if they needed a second hits. I'm not sure if they needed Volume 2. How Can You Mend a Broken Heart? Lonely Days. I thought that would have been on the first one, but anyway, and Alive, which I think was from Staying Alive, not from Saturday Night Fever, if I remember correctly. But unbelievable voices, unbelievable singers, songwriters, musicians that get shit on a lot because of the disco part. But if you listen to their older stuff, even if you listen to the disco stuff as well, it's just unbelievably good music. So yeah, Bee Gees Best of Volume 2. Yeah, the Gibb brothers. She was also a big Andy Gibb fan as well. So I'm not sure so far. I think she'd be 2 for 2 in these, and I'm not sure. I guess we'll continue to see if that's a threat or not. I don't know if it is. This is not a vinyl-storage-solutions.ca.
That's a record store sleeve if I've ever seen one.
But it holds it anyway. So I'm gonna have to replace that with a proper one. So there you go. Volume 2.
I always pick up early Bee Gees in the stores whenever I can see them. I've got probably 7 or 8 Bee Gees albums that are all pre-disco.
Yeah. Just they definitely belong in the discussion of some of the greats of that time period, but yet they never seem
Especially
to be
Barry
in
as a
there.
writer. Good grief, the hooks and the melodies.
They just never seem to. I shouldn't say they never seem to be in that conversation, but less more than they should be. Yeah. Gorilla
Okay.
Brothers Gibb, yeah.
All right, Rob, show us Blue Rodeo.
No, sir. No, sir. I don't know why my wife picked this because I don't think she even knows who this guy is. But I've talked about him before. Luke Doucette, Broken and Other Rogue States. Luke Doucette is a guitar player. I think he comes from Vancouver, to be quite honest, but he lives in Toronto. He's done a lot of things. He is Sarah McLachlan's guitar player. I don't know if he was with her on Kimmel last night. I don't think so.
Yeah.
But yeah, has been in Sarah McLachlan's band for years, and he's married to Sarah's bass player, Melissa. And together they have a band called Whitehorse that I talk about a lot. This is Luke's solo record. Came out in 2005. He was in a punk band in Vancouver called Veal. And then he was the first artist to sign to a little indie label in Toronto called Six Shooter Records. And this was the very first record that Six Shooter ever put out. It's Sam would dig it. It's folk done with a Gretsch White Falcon, I think. Probably how I would call it. It's interesting. It's a really good record. Was not available on vinyl until a couple months ago because it's the 20th anniversary of Six Shooter. So they issued some of their old stuff on vinyl for the first time, and this was one of them. See, this is kind of a cool orange, and that's the label there, the Six Shooter label. Very good record. He put out about 3 or 4 solo records after this, and then him and his wife got together as Whitehorse and have been doing Whitehorse ever since, and have about 10 albums. But yeah, so Luke's first solo record. I think he's one of the best guitar players in Canada. I have met him countless times. Always a good dude to talk to, and always happy to take a picture or something or whatever. So there's some Canadian content right there.
You could have a pretty good collection of just their individual albums and their albums together, because they're both at about what, 4 each solo, and then 10-ish, right, or something. Yeah. So that's pretty good. Yeah, that's some good output.
I only have one of Melissa's albums because there's only one of them on vinyl. I've got all 3 of Luke's that are on vinyl, and then I've got all the rest of them on CD, and then the whole Whitehorse catalog. So yeah, there's quite a bit there. It's good stuff.
Good
stuff. Let's see. Marcel Marceau vibe on that cover. Okay. Like my hat, Joe?
I do like that hat. Cool. I never even noticed that you swapped hats.
I said, screw the Blue Jays. If they don't give a damn about playing when it matters, I don't give a damn about wearing their hat.
I never even noticed the swap.
My blood pressure's like...
Thank you.
I get mad at them all the time. It's fine.
You got a lot of teams like that.
You know, I've been a fan since 1984, and I've watched every bloody year, and every bloody year it ends up usually in heartbreak. This takes it to a whole new level. So
it's like the equivalent of Cowboys fans.
Power is on, but it is on AV or on a vinyl, which is a great record store in Regina, Saskatchewan. Also good if you want stereo equipment.
It is. Yeah, that's right. Yes, we do that too. Yeah.
Richard, it's easy to breathe when your Rockies are, 45 games out of first place. But when you had first place locked down, and then you're just giving it away to the Yankees like you're a cheap prostitute. Do you
need a Tylenol? No.
I do. I need the whole bottle, I think.
That extra strength.
Extra strength. Yeah, that's
I need like yoga or some kind of mantra or something. All right, Sam, you're next.
All right, let's see what's in the stack of tracks here. Very good. So this is obviously off theme, other than the fact that I saw him where we currently live, but this will make Rob happy. This is, Mike Campbell, the Dirty Knobs latest from was that earlier this? It was last year.
Last year.
Vagabonds, Virgins, and Misfits, which this came with the signed insert, which I have hanging on my wall over here. But Mike Campbell, lead guitarist of the Heartbreakers with Tom Petty for the whole career. He's played with everybody, especially in the 80s and early 90s. Stevie Nicks, obviously Petty on the solo albums, Don Henley. He played with Fleetwood Mac for a couple of years after Lindsey was fired. This is a fantastic record. This, production-wise, I know, Rob, you weren't a fan of it right off the bat.
It's not my favorite of their album, but I really like it. But just I like the other two better.
Which, fun fact, this dulcimer is was on loan from Stevie Nicks. So that's Stevie Nicks' dulcimer.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Which is kind of cool. Yeah, he thanks her. But fantastic tunes. The production on this one is really good. At this point, Steve Ferroni of the Heartbreakers had joined, though he's really only on 2 tracks. The other drummer plays on the other tracks. So you have 2 Heartbreakers on here. Benmont Tench, I think, makes an appearance. Graham Nash shows up very faintly in the background. Lucinda Williams is on here. But the song Angel of Mercy is beautiful. The duet with Lucinda is great. Hell or High Water. It's so good. This thing rocks. It just is great. He's got a song called My Old Friends, which sounds like an old like Waylon Jennings kind of country song, where his old friends are, all the liquor bottles. He's like, my friend Jack and Johnny Walker and Captain Morgan, like all these, he's playing on the brands of alcohol that are his old friends. But yeah, this is a great record. I think she just picked this because she knows I'm such a big fan. Although I think one of her friends, I know one of her friends, met Mike when he was in town, just kind of like it was like a fluke thing. I think he was kind of just at the right place at the right time. But yeah, Mike Campbell, my favorite guitarist, and I think my favorite of the 3 Dirty Knobs records. Though we are supposed to be getting a new one very soon, from what I understand.
I had not heard that. That's exciting.
Yep. So great picks.
Love it. I was in the car today, and I had Stevie Nicks' Belladonna on, and Campbell is all over that record. You don't even need to read the liner notes. You just hear it. You go, yep, that's Mike Campbell.
Yeah, put Tom Petty's voice on some of those songs. Like, yeah, it's Heartbreakers all over that.
Absolutely. Love it. What's Tim saying? Tim is saying, I like the debut best. F That Guy's a banger.
Irish Girl's beautiful. Yeah, from the first record. I think he was inspired by Van Morrison for that song, actually.
Tim met him, I believe, if I recall correctly. So,
yeah, he does a lot of like the pre-show like fan tickets, like 50 of them per show or something.
That's cool.
It was a great show.
All right, Daryl, you're up, sir.
What do we got? Well, here we go. I talked about this actually, I think, on my most recent video, which dropped yesterday or the day before. It's an artist. I know, Rob, you really like this guy, and you and I cannot figure out why people shit on him all the time.
Okay.
I really don't know. There's a part 1 and a part 2. And it's me out of the hell.
Love him.
I've never been able to understand why people crap on him all the time. And I mean, this is far superior to the part 2, Bat Out of Hell part 2. But I part 2 kind of, I mean, that was my high school years, right? So that's why I remember that so much. And talk about overplayed on the radio would be part 2. But this stuff here, I mean, how can you go wrong with Bat Out of Hell? You took the words right out of my mouth. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Paradise by the Dashboard Light. It's not a perfect album, but it's a wonderful album. And of course, Jim Steinman's all over this and all over all of his other stuff, right? So fantastic album, fantastic artwork. I don't know what else to say about it. It's to me, it's a great album, and I'm actually quite intrigued that my wife picked this because I know she likes them, but I didn't realize that she was going to pull this one out of the collection. So great stuff.
For its genre, I would call it a perfect album.
I would too.
It is. We've discussed my dislike and then re-like again of Paradise by the Dashboard Light, or my come and go if I'm sick of it, not sick of it. But
that's your second favorite song behind Summer of '69, isn't it?
it is. Remember, I backed off on that one. I took that one back. I changed my mind because I heard it again. But yeah, I can put that album on start to finish. There is not a bad note on it, and I like 2 as well. Yeah, they played the shit out of And I Won't Do That, right? I'd do anything for love. That thing, if it didn't play 10 times a day, but I never got sick of it. I don't know why, because it did get overplayed. Unbelievable. The video was very good. It was the time of video and that as well. So that got a lot of play also. But yeah, and Dead Ringer is not a horrible album either. Those two, when they were together, they were just very good. It was very theatrical, very thematic. It was just, I would go as far as saying that is a perfect album for what it is, for sure.
I remember when he was alive, I saw him, it was like some MTV game show. I can't remember what it was. I don't know if it was Rock and Roll Jeopardy or something like that, or it might have been Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, but in music style or whatever it was. And he went on there and he got all the way to the final question. They asked him if he wanted a double or nothing. And because I think the money was going to charity or something. And he said, no, I'll stop here. The final question was literally a Meatloaf song.
Yeah. I think that was Millionaire that he was on, but yeah, he bailed it.
That had to have been set up.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, it was great though. It was great. And actually one track that's on here that's fantastic that we always forget to talk about, All Revved Up and No Place to Go.
Yeah.
Is a great song.
Took the words right out of my mouth. So. Yeah. Richard talks about Steinman's solo album, and it is also very good. Again, it's along the lines of, it's the same music. It's just him singing instead of, I think it's him singing. I don't know if he got someone else to, but he's always been the keyboard player. Steinman was a big part of, there wouldn't have been Meatloaf if there wasn't a Jim Steinman. And then the other songs that he wrote for Bonnie Tyler, and he had some other big hits along the way as well. But that's a great album, a fantastic album. And it's also the second best selling ever, or third. It's top 5 for sure. So it's one that it comes in the store, it goes back out again. It just doesn't last, not the next person that comes in, but sometimes the second next person. Yep. And it's just gone. I think I've sold like a dozen copies of it. So.
And for the most part, side 1 for sure. I think it's pretty much a concept album. I think they call that one, eh?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, it definitely flows together. I never did get a chance to see. I would have loved to have seen, because I think they actually finally put it together, the musical that the two of them had always been working on, based on the music of, from the first album, the second album, and maybe some of the other stuff that Jim wrote. I think that would have been a fairly lavish and well done Broadway performance, but if it came to fruition, I never got a chance to see it. So
I always think when I see that record or listen to that record, when Meatloaf was touring in the 2010s, his main backup singer was a woman named Aspen Miller, and I had the fucking maddest crush on that woman. She was like,
yeah,
that's the one that she did the duet part of Paradise by the Dashboard Light. My God.
I think she's the one in Three Bats Live in the DVD.
Yes.
I think that's her, right?
That's her. Yeah.
So she's phenomenal. He always had, obviously, because he always had great, but she was, I agree. Yeah.
I might kick Susanna Hoffs out for her. You never know.
Maybe,
That's what we're talking about.
You could have a throuple there if you wanted.
Exactly. There's probably lots of room.
This went downhill real quick, so we're going to say, Joe, it's your turn now.
All right, fine. Okay, let's see. I don't know if the theme will continue or not, but what do we got? Some of these don't even have sleeves on them. Oh, okay. So I think if nothing else, if there is a theme, it's bands she like. And actually, I just showed this last week because of when we were doing our Gatefold album. So I don't need to say much more about Boston. We talked about them last week. Phenomenal. Definitely some shit going on in the band, like it always does in bands, but a little more so maybe than there should have been. But just a phenomenal. Their debut album, to me, that's almost another perfect album too. Again, for its genre, to come out of the gate that strong. That Boston album, you could just put the whole thing on a hits radio station, and it would fit in. Now I guess Scholes was an asshole, or was Delp the asshole? I think Scholes was, right?
I think it was Delp.
Yeah. Which is
was,
so. But saw him live, really good, just fantastic stuff. So there you go. That's Joanne's third pick, and if there is a theme, she is a fan of all three of those so far. So
Okay. John's saying Bat Out of Hell is a widely considered concept album, though it can be described as a rock opera, features a narrative of obsessive teen romance anxieties against a dark American backdrop. God damn it, John. Is that from
That's a Wikipedia copy.
yeah.
He's not over there, he's not like a yogi on top of a mountain saying that stuff. He's copy and pasting while he's listening to Billy Joel.
John's in his garage tinkering with some Billy Joel playing for sure.
Is that what they call it?
Sorry, yes.
Sam's on a roll tonight. Yeah, it's
I
good.
know. Okay, so my wife loves soundtracks. She has a ton of soundtracks. I have very few, but it doesn't surprise me that she pulled a soundtrack. And she pulled the soundtrack for the second highest grossing movie of 1977. Does anybody know what that is?
Rocky. Dun, 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 dun,
Well,
dun.
does anyone know what number one is? This should be a no-brainer.
Pew pew pew.
Saturday Night Live.
Star
No,
Wars.
that's
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
wow.
So, the
Oh, I
second
was
highest
wrong.
grossing movie is Smokey and the Bandit. I love this movie. It's fantastic. Listen, I'm a simple guy. It doesn't need to be. Well, Grease 2 is here, but no way in hell she'd pull that.
Yeah.
I don't need my movies to be, thought-provoking, intellectual, cinematic. I don't give a shit. I'm a simple guy. Just entertain me for 90 minutes so I don't have to think about life. Love this movie. Obviously, Eastbound and Down, Jerry Reed. That's the only thing of note on here. Everything else is just filler for the most part. It's all stuff out of the movies, CB dialogue and, instrumental pieces and whatever. You have this for Eastbound and Down. I remember when I watched this when I was, I don't know, my son's age, 8, 9, whatever. Great movie. And my dad's like, Jerry Reed's a great musician. He was friends with Elvis.
347. Say more.
The hell was that?
Police scanner. I don't know. I don't know what that was. It was CB. It was a CB.
It was something. I think so. So yeah, I didn't realize, at a young age, how great of a musician Jerry Reed is. But as I got older, wicked guitar player. I don't know that he gets a lot of recognition. I don't think, but man, what a great picker and what a good songwriter. So yeah, Smokey and the Bandit. What do you say? It's a very fun movie. I got my son watching it when he was really young, and great. I've probably seen it 100 times, and I'll probably see it 100 more times.
Did you guys ever do that where you actually did the pull on the cord thing and the trucks would honk at you?
Oh yeah.
I used to do that when I was a kid all the time.
Yeah.
It was really funny. I got just a short story before we move on about that. Actually, I was doing the horn pull. Me and my buddies were playing alongside the road, and we used to have this fort that we had built and all this, and this truck driver comes by and his horn wouldn't go. And he goes, "Are you guys going to be here in an hour?" Now, this is something that we wouldn't do today because of the way society is, but he comes back in an hour and he has unopened bags of candy. He's like, "I couldn't pull the horn." He's like, "Here, have a whole pile of candy." He threw us all kinds of candy and mints and all kinds of stuff. And me and my buddies were just like, "Yay, free candy." Just pulling the horn on the thing.
Free candy.
You never do that with your kids today, but
That's that's the name of a good album, Free Candy from the Trucker. It's a country album, I think, possibly, but not
Probably.
necessarily. So, but yeah, that movie. I was 12, saw it in the theater. It was like I might have just stayed and just went to the next showing. It might have just been, I got to see that again, and let's go jump some cars and let's Sally Field his feet and just everything. So yeah, that's
all
good.
the convoy stuff from that movie is just crazy. I just love it when all the trucks are together, just lining up. It's I mean, it's not like today, like they're convoys, but it's so different.
So this is sad. I've seen the movie. I'm not like I'm probably low when I say 100 times. I've seen it so many times. Like I pick out all the inconsistencies now, and when they're doing that convoy part where Bandit pulls in behind and the truck pulls up and the blocks so the sheriff can't see it. When you watch when they're filming that, they must have filmed 5 or 6 different passes, because when they're filming it at one point, when they're at the looking back on the convoy and you see the Trans Am coming up, they're on the correct side of the highway. But when they're filming the part where he's in the rocking chair and the other trucks, they're on the opposite lanes of the highway going the wrong way because the filming car is on the other side so that it could get that shot. And I'm like, when it dawned on me like a year ago, I'm like, I've seen this movie way too many goddamn times.
Too many
figuring that out.
Yeah. Sheriff Buford T. Justice.
I would still love to have myself I think it's a 1976 Trans Am. That would be fantastic.
Yeah, I'd take one. Yep. Flaming
Hey, Devin, how you doing? Welcome. Thanks for joining us. He's listening on his way home from work. All right. Sam, you're up again.
Seriously, was that Burt Reynolds trying to contact us from the beyond on his CB?
Could have been.
I think it was my wife's AirPods accidentally connected to the iPad.
Oh, nice. Excellent.
So she texted me. She said, "Sorry about that." But anyway,
Good. I'm just going to say goodnight to my son. I'll be right back. Take her away, Sam.
Okay. Another on theme here of concerts that my wife and I have attended together. This is Tommy Prine, This Far South. Now, Tommy is the son of John Prine, obviously one of my favorite singer-songwriters. Tommy, very different musically than his dad. Definitely more, and he's much younger than John Prine. I mean, Prine had him later in life. I think Tommy's younger than I am. And I think John would be like 75 or 6 if he were still alive. And Tommy's 28 or 29. But this is right now his one and only album. He's just put out an EP digitally. And he's been saying that there's going to be another album soon. But this album's already got a couple of years on it. But definitely more of a like, it's not, I wouldn't even say it's like singer-songwriter. It's hard to explain. Like a lot of the songs are very, they're very much of a melancholy or like a cynical nature, some of them as well. And a lot of it was written after his dad had passed away. I'm going to pull a Rob. This one is indeed signed by Tommy. And I got to meet Tommy. I guess it was last July when I saw him, which was to me just like a great like full circle moment to like meet John Prine's son. It was the closest I was ever going to get. I saw Prine a few shows before he passed away from COVID, but to see Tommy was really cool and surreal, and to shake his hand and have a photo with him. But yeah, my wife and I went to go see him. One of the songs on this album we put on like our playlist that we had during our wedding. So like I think it was the sup like when we were having our supper. Because I made that playlist and I put a song from this record on there because it was a concert that we had seen, so it had special memory to us. But yeah, this is Tommy Prine, This Far South, and hopefully, he'll release that EP that is currently only digital. He'll put that on vinyl, hopefully at some point, and then release a second follow-up because it's been way too long. And I mean, even last year when we saw him, he did like 5 or 6 songs from a supposed new album, and we haven't gotten the new album yet. So very cool. Another concert that my wife and I have attended. So
does he allude to John at all live? Like, does he talk about him a little bit, or does he kind of try and separate himself a little?
He separates himself. He's kind of like the Jacob Dylan thing with the Wallflowers. No, Tommy, he does have a song that he wrote after John died, like a year or so after he died, called "Ships in the Harbor." And then there is a song on there where he says a line where he says, "People say I look just like you." which is in reference to John. And he does. I mean, he looks a lot like John. If John was a Gen Z or a millennial, a very late millennial guy, but yeah, he doesn't cover John's songs like at his shows. He'll do like a tribute concert. Like he'll make an appearance every year in Nashville. There's been for the last few years there's been a John Prine tribute, and he's always played a song or two of his dad's. But yeah, he's trying to be his own guy, which I respect a lot.
If there is anybody watching this and you don't know who John Prine is, you have to go and you have to learn about you have to learn about John Prine. And if you listen to only one song, and that's not fair, you listen to Sam Stone. Just do not, if you're watching this and you have no idea who Sam is talking about when he talks about John Prine, not to take away from the album that you showed, but I just have really gone down a big hole as of late, and I just keep listening to his stuff, and it's just so fantastic, so unbelievably good.
Yeah, and he was so young when he was writing that. He was like 27 or so when he wrote Sandstone. Yeah, or if not younger.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay, Daryl.
Okay.
No peeking.
Here we go. All right, some Canadian content. 1970s rock. I just bought this over the summer. I got to debate whether I'm going to remove the plastic on this on the show, though. I know we've done this before where...
Do it. Grip it and rip it.
Where we've got Chilliwack. Talked about these guys a lot. Rip and rip. All right, there we go.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's like I'm stuck on it. It's so old.
Man, I've never seen that one. And I've seen a lot of Chilliwack albums.
Yeah, so this is Chilliwack's Riding High. The big hit off this one. This is the one with Crazy Talk on it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Which is a really cool song. What year is this? 1974. This one's on Goldfish Records. I bought this when I was at that market in the summer because I didn't have this one. Really neat stuff. Funny fact about this: when my grandfather was stationed in the military, my mom was actually this band is actually named after a community in British Columbia. It's a city. My mom was born there when my grandfather was stationed during when he was in the Korean War or whatever it was. And so, it's just neat stuff. Ironically enough, though, if I tell a story, my mom hates this band. My dad used to play this all the time, and they've got so many. Like when we did that, what was it? The Earworms one, and I talked about My Girl, Gone, Gone, Gone.
Yeah,
it's a song my mom hates. But this, once again, getting back to this album, though, I mean, this is just straight up. If you listen to Canadian 70s rock music, I mean, this is around the time of BTO. We're talking about the Guess Who. We're talking about Chilliwack. We're talking about all these Canadian bands that really were on RPM charts, but they never crossed over in the United States very much. By the time Chilliwack became kind of known, I guess, you're looking at the early 80s, like I said, when they did My Girl, Gone, Gone, Gone and stuff like that. But they're older stuff, 71, 72, their self-titled albums. They had back-to-back self-titled albums. Super unknown and uncommon in most places, but just cool Canadian rock music. I guess that's where I'll go with it. If you've never heard Crazy Talk, though, Crazy Talk's a pretty cool song. And I don't think there's much else that came to be on this. There's an 8.5 minute song on side 2, but Riding High, the title track, is actually really good as well. So yeah, it's funny. I'd never seen this cover either. I think it's the only cover that goes with that album, but
I don't know.
I don't think it's something that you just pull out of you don't see it in the wild too often.
No, like I said, I can't say that I've ever seen that one. So Tim was saying that they're coming to Ottawa. They are on their final tour. They just played here a little while ago. I've seen them 3 or 4 times. Bill Henderson still sounds good. The only thing that pisses me off is they never play Communication Breakdown, and that's one of my favorite Chilliwack songs, and I don't know why they never play it. But they do.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the song on there, but they do about an 8-10 minute jam in the middle of their set all the time. They were fairly progressive, I think, to start with as well, and then got a little.
Yeah, their first 2 albums are like. Well, it's one of other than Cheech and Chong, one of the first albums I ever heard of that had a swear on it. And there's a song that they did called Chicken Shit Man, but on the album, because it's from the 70s, they weren't allowed to write that on there. So it actually is C.S. Man on the album. Yeah. But it's very, like you said, it's kind of proggy. It's not psyche, but it's proggy.
Yeah.
In its earliest phases for sure.
Yes, you are correct. That's exactly what I meant and did not say. So yes, that's good.
The only time I ever heard of them was the SCTV sketch of when they did "Gone So Long" with Rick Moranis, and Eugene Levy. They did it with the Recess Monkeys. It was like a teenage telethon, and they're supposed to be like a high school band, and just a hilarious sketch of them playing that song and Rick Moranis doing a terrible guitar solo. It's really good stuff.
SCTV was so good. Like when John Candy used to have the bands on, it was, I can't remember who it was, something.
The singing, the fisherman, like the musical Fisherman or whatever he was called.
Yeah. There's a really good documentary, I guess, that has just come out about John Candy, which I'm looking forward to seeing. That was
I want to see it. Yeah, I've seen the trailer.
Yeah, should be good. He is missed.
All right, Joe.
All right, what do I got? I've got Manfred Mann's Earth Band.
Oh,
this one, I have no idea why she would have pulled this one. Maybe it was the artwork, possibly. I'm not sure, but because it's not even like the Roaring Silence. It's not the big ones, right? But what is on here? I don't think there's singles on here. What? It was random. This one was random. Everything was random. Everything was random. Joanne can clearly hear us when we're talking. Well, she can hear me anyway. Anyway, so it was random
because this is riveting viewing.
Exactly. It was random. But Angel Station from Manfred Mann's Earth Band. I like them. I'm not sure that I've listened to this album a whole hell of a lot, but like I say, Roaring Silence, stuff like that. They go back to Do Diddy and things like that. But so there you go. It was random is the explanation for the choice of this. Do you like Manfred Mann? A little bit. So it still works for the theme if we're working on a theme, which was random. So
they had some great garage rock.
And of course, Manfred Mann's, they've got Rob's favorite version of Blinded by the Light, too.
Oh,
great.
God.
Not so much, no?
Not so much. It's fine, but...
Daryl, that's on Greetings from Asbury Park. Did you know that?
I knew that. It's been a long time since I've heard that version, though.
Well, there you go. So that's something to look forward to then, right?
Rob, are you going to see the Springsteen movie? Are you interested in that at all?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I
Did
want
you
to
get
see
the box
the movie.
set?
I'm even more excited about the Nebraska box set.
Yeah.
That's already pre-ordered, so can't wait for that. My turn now, right?
Yep.
Let's relocate myself upstairs here. Hold on. Damn StreamYard. There we go. Here we go.
Put that picture away, Rob. Put that picture away.
Yeah. So we got another soundtrack here. This is one I think that was given to me, when someone said, "Hey, I got a handful of old records. You want them?" And normally it's,
Sure.
Right. But I kept this one out of the lot because it's Woodstock.
Yeah.
I mean, so we do the gatefold thing. Hold on, this is a super duper gatefold.
Yeah, trifold.
It is.
Oh, I can't show the naked people. So there you go. There's Woodstock. Won't show the naked people.
That's the next stream.
You got. I mean, do I need to? Everyone knows who was at Woodstock, but Crosby, Stills and Nash, and Young, The Who, Joe Cocker, obviously the very famous Beatles cover with a little help from my friends, Santana, Jefferson Airplane, Sly and the Family Stone, the Butterfield Blues Band, Hendrix doing Star Spangled Banner. For all its awesomeness, which it is, there's also a lot of great acts that played Woodstock that are not on this. And I think there was some sort of issue with licensing or whatever. Like the band was at Woodstock and Creedence was there. There's a bunch of great artists that really should be on this. So, I would not consider this a comprehensive retrospective, nor would I consider it a greatest live performances from Woodstock, but it's still very, very good. So I love live albums. I love most of these bands. So for a free record, that's a good one.
There is a volume 2 of it as well.
Is there a volume 2? Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't remember who's on it, but yeah, there is. I know, and I don't mean like later Woodstocks. I mean that Woodstock,
Right? Yeah.
volume 2 from that Woodstock, and I'm not sure if it's more of the same artists. I can't remember, or it is some of those others. But yeah, I think you mentioned Creedence. I think "Who'll Stop the Rain," right, came from them waiting and watching the rain at Woodstock. Whoever was playing before them, and that was the impotence for "Who'll Stop the Rain." So.
Exactly.
There was a really cool, I don't know if it's accurate or not, but a really cool meme about how much the musicians and the bands got paid at Woodstock.
Yeah.
And like the top band versus some of the ones at the bottom. Like it was like one band got paid like $500 or something for their performance, and others were getting paid like 30 and 40 grand at that time. It's just pretty crazy.
The crazy story is that it's well known, but that was Nash's second performance. And their first performance was just like at this small couple hundred people theater a few nights before. But yeah, which is insane.
On volume 2, as Curtis just said, there's more Hendrix, Jefferson Airplane, Butterfield Blues Band. Joan Baez has 1 song. Crosby, Stills, and Nash and Young, 3 more from them. A couple from Melody, who just passed away a few years ago. Mountain and Canned Heat. And audience during Sunday Rainstorm singing "Let the Sunshine In" for 50 seconds. So that's what's on volume 2, and it's still a double. There's some lengthier versions of the songs on there. So
cool.
Yeah,
I don't know that I've ever seen that.
It doesn't come up often. We had it at the shop and it went fairly quickly because you see that one a fair bit. It's in a lot of collections, but the other one is not so much. So, and it's the same ish artists kind of. So it's not like, I don't want to listen to, Canned Heat completely. So
right.
The one thing I wish they would do, this is just me personally, but I think it's a licensing thing. I wish that they would do the same thing with but with Woodstock 94. Woodstock 98 or 99 was shit, but Woodstock 94 was pretty cool too. I wish that
wasn't 94 the one that was just a fucking shit show though.
It was like Mudstock or whatever.
That was the Mud one, but the 99 one is the one with Limp Bizkit and all that, and they burned everything. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the Chili Peppers and
Green Day
94 was pretty good, right? I think actually 94 had the Tragically Hip at it, right? I think they were, or were they 99? I can't remember.
I'm not sure if they were. I know the Cranberries were there. 9 Inch Nails were there. Primus were there. Aerosmith, I think, even performed in Metallica. So
it was.
And what's his name? Peter Gabriel did Biko on one of the last nights. That was a good performance too. So.
There you go.
And in case anyone is wondering, it's a nail biter in Toronto. It's 7-0 Boston in the bottom of the night. 7-1 Boston in the bottom of the night.
It's the comeback.
Morons.
Sam's turn. Go, Sam.
It's like watching the Leafs lose 6-1 in the final game of the playoffs.
Damn near.
All right. Once again on theme. I think the Mike Campbell one was kind of just snuck in there. It was not on theme, but we're still on theme with concerts that we've seen together. This is Old Crow Medicine Show and their album Jubilee, which was their. I guess this is the most recent record. Old Crow, if you don't know, the big song that they wrote was Wagon Wheel, which is played at every bar and acoustic gathering known to man. Darius Rucker re-recorded it. from Hootie and the Blowfish. But this is a really cool album. This was in celebration of their 25th anniversary as a band, which came out 2 years ago. They are based out of, originally from Harrisonburg, Virginia, which is around the area where I went to college, in the Shenandoah Valley here in Virginia. And just a fantastic, old time string band is kind of how they started. But they kind of started the groundwork for all of the bands that kind of came around in the early to mid 2000s, like Mumford and Sons, the Lumineers, Avett Brothers. Like Old Crow were the ones that started that kind of folk revival in the early 2000s. And again, had that huge thing with Wagon Wheel. But this album was kind of like a return to roots for them, because they had put out an album before this, which was almost more of like a Americana rock album, like almost like a Mellencamp kind of sound to the album before this. And a couple of the original members who had left the band by this point make guest appearances on here. Just a really, really solid record. Mavis Staples shows up on the last song from the Staples Singers. There's a gospel song on here that she does called One Drop, which is fantastic. Check out the song One Drop. They just have some really good, fun, like fiddle tunes, some fast-paced songs, some nice ballads, but also a really cool album cover with like a painting of the guys. But yeah, just a fantastic record. I think the rumor is that they have a Christmas album that's supposed to be announced here very soon. I know they just announced a Christmas tour, which they've never done before. So hopefully we'll be getting a late year album from Old Crow, or at least an EP. But Jubilee by Old Crow Medicine Show. We saw them last August, and we're seeing them again in just a few weeks here in town. So excited for that. And I've seen them multiple times. But Old Crow Medicine Show, Jubilee from Virginia. So local guys.
I know you're a big Christmas guy. Are you going to start putting up your decorations soon?
Oh, they've been up for 6 months.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Your poor wife.
No, those won't happen until at least Black Friday. So
okay.
It'll be after Thanksgiving here in the States.
Okay.
They can wait a little longer because there isn't 6 feet of snow on the ground by the end of October.
Sam only took his tree down because he had to move.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
That's all right. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. It's all good.
All right, Daryl. You're much more of an expert. Didn't Wagon Wheel start off as a Bob Dylan something, right?
Yeah, the about 4 or 5 lines were from around the time that he did John Wesley Harding, which has All on the Watchtower. It was a bootleg, and that was all there was. And so the lead singer of Old Crow, the kind of like the core guy throughout their entire career, Ketch Secor, he listened to that bootleg. It had other songs on there as well, but he listened to that for years and years and years, and he wrote the song essentially. Bob Dylan got a co-write on it. And because of how it did, probably about 10 years after that song, the Dylan camp actually reached out to Old Crow and gave them another song called Sweet Amarillo, written around the same time, and kind of the same kind of songwriting process. He finished it off, and they put that out. That was kind of like almost like a country kind of like waltz, with a nice fiddle, just a really cool tune. Cool. But yeah, it was an old bootleg, like 20 seconds long, that they flushed out.
Cool, that's good. I knew of the story, not the story. So thank you.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, Daryl.
Okay. So, real theme or rhyme or reason to these. She just picked albums that I think she knows that I really like. Now, this one here is kind of strange. I just want to do something real quick. You're probably wondering, why am I smelling my record? Yeah, that's what I thought. So this is Madonna's Like a Prayer.
That's great.
Yeah.
This album here actually was designed to have, it's got like a patchouli kind of a smell to it. And if you go on Discogs, it's actually inputted. It actually has a smell to it. It's really, really weird, man. I thought it was just when I bought it from the store, I thought, okay, this is like one of those old records that's got a musky smell to it or whatever. And then I go to put it in Discogs, and apparently this one was designed to actually have a scent to it. So this is the Like a Prayer album. I'm not a completionist by any means, but I'm trying to complete Madonna's stuff until I can't do music. Once she started doing the auto tune and all that with music and all that, I can't do that. So anything up until I can't remember the name of the album that has This Used to Be My Playground on it. Trying to collect all her stuff. So this is another one, Joe. It's funny you were talking about Asbury Park. You and I have talked about the one Madonna album too, but this one here is fantastic. I mean, it's got Like a Prayer, it's got Express Yourself, Cherish, Dear Jessie, which is kind of the one controversial song that she did. Not one, but one of many. And I picked this up back in June when I got out of the hospital. I found this not a random store. It was close to the hospital in Kingston. And the place, like if you ever walked into the record store I bought this from, you'd walk in there going, this guy is the most disorganized record store I've ever seen. There's records on the floor, records just stacked there. The pricing's on the inside of the cover. But the guy, like, I asked him, do you have this? And he's like, oh, yeah, it's right over there. Like, he knew where everything was. It's just the store's a disaster. But it had all kinds of cool stuff. So, yeah, those of you that don't watch my channel, you know that I'm a Madonna fan. I can't stand her after the 1990s. I just don't like anything from 2000 on. But I did look weird sniffing album covers.
So did I.
But yeah, mine has like a patchouli smell, and like I said, I thought it was a joke, and then I looked it up on Discogs, and fair enough, I smelled my record, and it has that scent to it. So
Mine does not. I had never heard of that until just now. I'm not a Madonna fan. I like that one album because I love the song Like a Prayer, and I thought she looked smoking hot in the video. So as a 14-year-old me, I liked that video a lot. I was looking for this forever and couldn't find it anywhere. And so this one came all the way from New Zealand. You guys know Keith from Attack Down Under. He sent me this because he knew I was looking for it. So
Yeah,
good
that's right.
record.
Remember that. I don't have that one, so I can't sniff it. So I'll have to sniff something else, I guess. But
Hello. All right.
I think she probably sold a few albums, kind of like Metallica sold a few albums from because of Stranger Things. I think she probably sold a few because of Deadpool. I think that probably helped because that's a pretty epic scene, and even I was like, oh man, this song really, really fits this theme and this scene. So yeah, it was good. It was good. Okay, total random. From what I understand, here we go. What do we got? Let's pick this one. The Story of the Clash. I'll take it out. I have all their albums, but I also have this, which is a greatest hits, or not a greatest hits, because there wasn't a whole lot of hits from the Clash, really. It's just a retrospective of kind of the best of the albums. But there's the Inside, Mr. Strummer and Company. But it's a double album, and it's got everything that you would want from the Smiths. It doesn't have anything from the Smiths that you would want. So from the Clash. Yeah, just good. I think, I don't need to go on too much about the Clash. One of my favorites, and probably in my top 2 concert regrets. I've told this story before, but the quick version is back in 1980. So just a little bit before they were done, I was living in Calgary. They're staying in Calgary for the summer. I would have been 14, 15, I guess, at that point. And nobody would go to the show with me, and they wouldn't let the 14, 15-year-old go by himself. So had the opportunity to see the Clash, did not get a chance to see the Clash. So that is one of my regrets along the way. So,
speaking of concerts, Joe, are you going to see Blue Rodeo on the tour this fall?
Yeah, I'm going to try and get up there and go and see them. Yes,
you should, because Adam Baldwin's the opener.
Right. Yes.
And I just found out. Guess who's playing with Adam?
I don't know.
My pal Kendall Carson.
Oh, well, cool. That's good. Awesome.
That's great.
Yeah, it's in Saskatoon, which is that's that's an easy drive. So the only problem with getting tickets for stuff in the winter here is that if the roads are shit, then what are you going to do? That's the only problem with having to travel in the winter. So sometimes I make a game day decision. Okay, there's tickets available. I'm going to go because the roads are good. So
Get a flying DeLorean, because where you're going, you don't need roads.
don't need roads for that. Exactly.
It's true.
Okay. I can get StreamYard to cooperate here. Here we go. There we go. There we go. We are going at a snail's pace here, so we'll have to pick it up in the next round a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. My wife picked this because I know she's a big fan of this band, and she probably picked this because, ooh, that's interesting. It looks like surrealistic pillow, but it's not. It's a Fleetwood Mac bootleg.
Realistic pillow, though.
Right? Exactly. First thing I thought when I bought it. This is so you guys may have heard, King Biscuit Flower Hour was a nationally syndicated radio concert series. So this was from an episode of that. This is Fleetwood Mac playing at the University of Connecticut on the 25th of October, 1975. This was after the second self-titled Fleetwood Mac album, but before Rumors. Okay, so this lineup of the band had put out one album, but the big one was still to come. Great. It's like an FM radio broadcast, so the sound quality is very, very good. It has obviously the hits from the self-titled Fleetwood Mac album. And, some other stuff that you don't necessarily think of this lineup of Fleetwood Mac playing. Like they played Green, I can never pronounce this, Manalishi, which was a Peter Green era Fleetwood Mac song done by this version of the band, which is really cool. Monday Morning, Spare Me a Little of Your Love, See I Love Me, Rhiannon, I'm So Afraid, Landslide, World Turning, Hypnotized. It's a great early live Fleetwood Mac because, the first official live Fleetwood Mac album is Fleetwood Mac Live. And then they put out Rumors Live, which is from the tour after this. And then they put out Mirage Live, which is from the Mirage tour. But there isn't anything from the first tour. So, I snagged this at a local record store. So there you go.
I saw that Miley Cyrus, for better or worse, just did a song with Mick and Lindsay.
I saw that too. Yeah.
I'm going to go with For Worse.
Did you listen to it?
Yeah. It's fine. Like, and she does a pretty good job. I just can't stand her. I find all her bullshit so off-putting that I can't appreciate the music. And I know that's just me being a curmudgeon old man.
She's talented.
She is talented, but she's so talented. It's like, cut the bullshit. Like, I think she's got her shit together now, but
yeah, she's not doing like the drugs and stuff she was.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly. I think her voice, to hear her talk, she sounds like she smokes 40 packs a day, but to hear her sing, there's kind of a Stevie Nicks kind of vibe going on.
Oh, yeah.
So I get why Lindsay and Mick want to work with her. I'm excited that Lindsay and Mick are doing stuff because maybe
one more.
There's some hope, right? Because we don't know if Lindsay and Stevie are talking, but they did just put out Buckingham Nicks. So.
Which I'm still waiting for. I was supposed to get it Tuesday. It got delayed, and I kept getting a notification. I'm getting it today. Didn't get it today.
Have you ever heard it before, Sam?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, it's good.
You're in for a treat, man.
I didn't realize Waddy Wattel was on there.
Yeah, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, the drummer is Jim Keltner.
Oh, yeah, on a bunch.
Shocking, because he plays drums for everybody.
Yeah.
It's. I don't think there's a bad song. There's a few songs like Crystal, and I think Rhiannon that end up as Fleetwood Mac songs, but all the other ones, not a bad song.
Did you order the reissue?
Nah, there's no point because, it's remastered. I don't really care. I've got an OG. It plays flawlessly. So, unless there was new material, I wasn't going to waste my money on it.
Yeah,
I'm glad it's out because it's a fantastic record and
first time on CD.
Yeah, I already had it digitally on my computer, so I'm like, I don't need the CD either. So,
yeah.
What's John saying? I just saw Buckingham Nicks import The bone with what? Bone? What? Excuse me. What? Why the hell can't we get that in the States? I have a Buckingham Nicks bootleg from the tour that Lindsay and Stevie did just prior to joining Fleetwood Mac, and it's another FM radio broadcast. It's great.
Cool.
They were good live. They really were. So, okay, let's go around again. Maybe do a. I still have like 2.
Yeah, we've only done 5.
Yeah, so maybe do like 2 or 3 this round, Sam.
All right.
In
I'll
a little
try to
more expedient fashion than we have been doing previously.
Correct. Yeah, these will be little like the dollar holler version, as Alex would say.
There you go.
All right, very cool. Again, another. Actually, this is fitting for how you usually end these streams. This is an album by
I
the
usually
Wood
end the
Brothers.
stream with a dribble.
That's what they say. You know, make sure those catheters are tight. This is the Wood Brothers, one of my favorite bands, One Drop of Truth. Again, another band that my wife and I have seen together, but I've seen them like 6 times, and then I've seen the lead singer twice solo. But this is a record, not my favorite by them, but there's some really good stuff on here. River Takes This Town is a great kind of like slow burn kind of blues song. One Drop of Truth. Sky High is kind of a fun little catchy tune. But I just recently did an interview with this gentleman right here, John O'Ricks of the Wood Brothers. He's the percussionist. Oftentimes a producer. He's produced several albums by other artists, but it was a fantastic interview. I was so fortunate. And I'll talk about it a little bit at the end, but go to my channel if you haven't subscribed. Check out that interview I did with John. His name is John O'Ricks, R-I-X, and it was a really fun time. So, my wife and I saw them late in the fall, I think, last year. But, Wood Brothers, One Drop of Truth. Next, we have... I knew this was coming because I could see it in my record collection, Missing. I talk about this all the time. Avett Brothers, I Am Loving You. Again, another record, another band that my wife and I have seen. Although, again, I've seen them 4 times now. 4 times now. This was the album that kind of broke them as a band. This was produced. It was the first album produced by Rick Rubin. Their first major label record. It was on American Records by Rick. I Am Loving You, Kick Drum Heart, January Wedding, Head Full of Doubt. All of those songs are concert staples. And what's really cool is the album artwork was actually painted by Scott Avett, the older of the 2 Avett brothers. He's a fantastic artist of all of the visual arts. And he also painted a record by Brandi Carlile for Brandi Carlile fans. It's kind of a similar look to this, but it's a portrait of her. But I Am Loving You by the Avett Brothers, fantastic record, probably their best. Maybe not my favorite, although it could be, but probably their best from start to finish. I Am Loving You, and I'll go with one more. I'll do the 3. This is interesting. I don't know why this is out of the what's it called? Sleeve for some reason. But anyway, this is The Head and the Heart. This is their second record. Let's Be Still, also a band that we saw together. Again, I've seen them now 3 times. They have Virginia roots. Their lead singer and their drummer both live in Richmond, Virginia. The drummer is from Richmond. The lead singer has been a long-term resident in Richmond, the capital here in Virginia. But this is their second album called Let's Be Still. Kind of a similar feel to their first record, more folky. They kind of went more pop with their third record up until the most recent one. Great songs on here. The song Another Story is one of my favorites. Josh McBride is a beautiful song. 10,000 Weight in Gold is another great song. But yeah, just a really fantastic record. Probably my second or third favorite out of like the 6 records that they have. So it's a really solid one. Let's Be Still by The Head and the Heart. So again, that's three more records, three more bands that I've seen live with my wife. So pretty cool.
Cool.
Awesome. So just because we were talking about it, this one. Vocals are Stevie and Lindsay. Drums is Hoppy Hodges, Jim Keltner, and Ronnie Tutt. So 3 guys on there. And then guitars, Lindsey Buckingham and Waddy. Bass, Mark Tulin, Lindsey Buckingham, Jeff Sheff. Keyboards, Peggy Sandvik, and strings arranged by a dude named Richard. So yes, you were correct in the drummer that was on there, along with
Okay.
yeah. And it was close. That's why I pulled it out. The album, never mind. Yes, John.
John's saying Stevie said she was crying when they took the cover photo. Lindsay said it was art. She saw it, and he was taking a nude photo. She did not dig it. Well, you can't see it. So, you know.
You can't.
Daryl, you're up.
2. I'll pull 3 as well. Still got quite a few here. All right. Here we go. Got this one this summer. I got this for a steal of a deal because it comes with background noise, which I haven't noticed too much, but Aerosmith Rocks. Got this for $3. Can't go wrong with that.
Nope.
Of course, this has Back in the Saddle, Sick as a Dog, 1970s Aerosmith. I think the thing for me about Aerosmith is I think it has to do with the fact that I started listening to Aerosmith when the Get a Grip album came out.
Same
Right.
here.
So that's the kind of era of Aerosmith that I know is the Get a Grip, the Permanent Vacation, that kind of thing. So I'm not overly familiar with this stuff. I've got to give this one a listen again, but Back in the Saddle, from what I remember, it's a pretty good track. And I didn't want to pass this up though. I mean, when I saw this album for $3, I'm like, wait a minute, I got to grab this one. So yeah, I know that. This is obviously pretty much the original lineup and all that. Towards the time, I think Perry was kind of going through like all that drug issues and stuff like that. I think this is that era of the band, but I'll have to give this one another go. I haven't listened to this one in a long time, so I'll have to check that out.
The whole
Yeah,
first part of their career is drug issues, I think, for the most part. They made it
Fair
work,
enough.
though. Yeah.
You just
so
want to
definitely. Honestly,
skip. I think you just want to skip. I think it's Rockin' a Hard Place. That's the one that Joe quit on, and it's just a steaming pile of shit.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. A Night in the Ruts. I still like I still like the album title. The album's not so good, but A Night in the Ruts is a great album title.
Yep.
I think part of the theme with these records actually might be that these are albums that my wife actually might like too. So kind of
That's
cool.
good.
But yeah, no, I'm an Aerosmith fan, and actually the one thing that I'm really bummed about Aerosmith is when I did that radio station haul, Permanent Vacation was there. The album cover itself was in mint condition. I took a look at the vinyl inside. The one side was like somebody threw it across the floor like a frisbee.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I could have had Permanent Vacation for free, but what can you do, right?
Yep.
All right, what else do we have here? Oh, here we go. Can't go wrong with Ann and Nancy Wilson and Heart. That's a fantastic album there. This one's a little out of shape, but what's on this one? What About Love and Never and These Dreams? Fantastic album here, the self-titled stuff. So where did I get that one from?
I
You
wonder.
can tell.
Yeah.
It was organized by genre apparently there, but I love Heart. And even when they were kind of doing some of their solo stuff, when they Surrender to You, I have that actually on the what movie was that from? I have that on a soundtrack. I forget what it's called now.
Well,
The
husband,
Wilson sisters are. What's that?
her husband is isn't it what's his name? The guy
Oh, it might have been.
Fast
It
Times.
might have been Tequila Sunrise.
Maybe. Yeah.
I think it's
But
on
her
Tequila
husband's
Sunrise.
is her husband Oh my God. Anyway, go on. I'll think of it or I'll look it up.
Yeah. So
Nancy
you can't go wrong. I know my wife really likes Heart. Like you're not. If Heart comes on the radio, that's not being shut off. That's for sure. And then this is the one you asked me if I knew what my boys picked.
Yeah.
Well, one of them definitely picked this, and I've never talked about this on my channel. Hotter Than July, Stevie Wonder. I'm not a huge Stevie fan, but this one's got what's the one that's on this? I'm running a blank on this. I got to get a bigger sleeve for this one though. It's a gatefold though. So of course it's the gatefold that only has lyrics on the inside, eh? But the cool flaming piano on the back, that's pretty neat. This one has that's what it is. Master Blaster is on this one. Yeah, so I think that my son probably picked this because he's all about colorful, shiny, designs and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't talk about Stevie too much. I respect his music for sure. Not a genre that I typically get into too much, but I definitely appreciate what he's done. And to me, the thing that's fascinating about it is like some of the other ones, like he's blind. I have a hard time processing in my mind how somebody can get that good at a piano and not being able to see a thing, or like the whole Beethoven thing, being deaf and being able to play masterpieces. It's just fascinating and phenomenal to me. So those are my three: Stevie Wonder, Heart, and Aerosmith. Yeah.
The crazy thing with Stevie is that you listen to like Songs in the Key of Life or any of those like albums that came out within like a 2-year period. He's pretty much playing every instrument.
Yeah.
Like he's not just playing piano. He's playing drums. He's playing guitar. He's playing bass. He's putting the horns into the synth. I mean, he's doing everything. And I was lucky. I got to see Stevie back in whatever the 40th anniversary was for Songs in the Key of Life, and he did the whole album in its entirety. So that was my one time seeing Stevie, and it was great.
That would have been fantastic. Mm-hmm. And yes, Brian got it. Cameron Crowe is who I was trying to think of that used to be married to Nancy Wilson. Cameron Crowe of Fast Times at Ridgemont High and Almost Famousness. Okay, me, I guess. And Nancy, I just saw playing guitar with Chapel Roan, so she's still out there and still participating and doing stuff. And I think Anne is out still singing as well. She's in a wheelchair right now, but they were doing some stuff together. But the two of them are out there.
Yeah, they're touring together as Heart.
Yeah, they weren't for a while, but they're back now. That Anne is better, not good.
Yeah, she sits on stage, but yeah, she's able to walk, but she kind of sits on stage.
Still sounds good, though. I mean, I don't have a problem if she's sitting down and still sounds good. So, okay, random, but there you go. AC/DC, probably not one of the best, and Who Made Who, a bit of a compilation, not really, but from Maximum Overdrive, kind of, although it was never really necessarily a soundtrack, but Who Made Who, and then You Shook Me, Sink to Pink, all this stuff from kind of the middle albums, from the Brian Johnson era for the most part, right? Yeah, exactly. For those about the rock and that. So, if you need some of the Back in Black and beyond, if you need a greatest hits and you are wondering where to go, you can go with a little AC/DC. This one I know Joanne picked for sure because this is her guy and always has been, always will be. I say it every time I mention his name. He is the one artist that she saw that I did not, that I begrudge her of, for lack of the proper term. So, but Diamond Dogs, this is not the controversial cover. It's still the weird cover, but not the controversial. And I was going to show this one for our gatefolds, but because it is a pretty fantastic cover. I mean, what do you need to say about Dave that hasn't already been said and or already everybody knows? And the third we'll go with this time is the 5-Man Electrical Band, a good Canadian band. I actually just got their greatest hits. It sits over there because it's got the Werewolf on it, which was never a single, but it made it on the greatest hits. But this has got, what does this have? Fancy Dancing Man, Running Back, Past Midnight, Private Train last time. I think 5-Man Electrical Band, the song The 5-Man Electrical Band is about the only hit off of this one, but their greatest hits is really good. So there's my three, although fearless leader has gone away. So I don't know if I just keep yapping for a minute or two, but these guys were good. They never were massive, but they had some really good, like I listened to that greatest hits the other day, and it's good. There's a lot of good stuff on there. Everybody kind of probably knows Signs, the song Signs, which was redone by Tesla, which probably played a little bigger in the States. I saw a pretty good meme the other day. We are so understaffed, we are now actually taking long-haired freaky people. You may apply. So I thought that was pretty good. But yeah, good stuff. Good Canadian band. I like the 5-man electrical band. And like I said, I don't know. I don't really need to say much more about Dave. I don't know, Sam. I don't know if I've heard you necessarily talk about Bowie. Are you a fan of Dave?
I am. I'm not a big fan of David Bowie. I did see the Moon Age Daydream album that came out. I mean, the Moon Age Daydream documentary that came out like a year ago, 2 years ago.
Yeah,
that was one of the trippiest things I've ever seen. I don't know if y'all ever saw it, but I do. I mean, I'd like a couple of his songs. I only have one Bowie album. I have Ziggy Stardust, but there's just something about Bowie I'm not fully into. I'm not a big glam rock guy. Not that I have anything against it. Like, I've just probably never given it the shot that it needs. I love the song Modern Love by Bowie. I play that live occasionally.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's just one of those artists. You know, we all have those artists that are big names that we've never done the deep dive into, and Bowie is one of the big ones for me that I've never jumped into.
I'm the same way, Sam. I'm the same.
No, that's fair. That's fair. And there's lots to choose from. And that's the thing. And then you listen to a couple and then the albums change. So you get used to him sounding one way and then it changes a little bit.
Yeah, he was always just so prolific and, you know, ever changing like so many of his contemporaries.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Yep. Rob, we filled till you're back. We all did 3. So whatever you want to do.
My son's just giving my wife some issues. So bedtime is a challenge. So sorry about that, Joe. I thank you for.
Oh, you've met me. You know I can babble on for a while.
Yes,
we'll be okay. Yeah.
This is a band the wife and I both love. Me First and the Gimme Gimmes. I've talked about them before. They're a punk band that does punk covers of songs that are not punk songs.
Yeah.
They've had many lineups of the band throughout the years. This is called Have Another Ball, the Unearthed A-Sides album. I don't know when this came out. No idea. But one of their first albums was called Have a Ball, and it has them bowling on the cover. It's their best album, I think. Really, really good. This is the companion album. So these are, I guess, albums or songs that didn't make that album. But, you know, punk versions of, for example, Country Roads. I write the songs. You've Got a Friend, Mother and Child Reunion. Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me. None of those you think, but it's very well done, very fast paced, very up tempo, hell of a lot of fun. Every time I see a Gimme's album, I buy it because I love everything that they've done. It's fun. That's all it is. It's fun. All right. I know why the wife pulled this because. Yeah.
I knew it.
I knew it.
Where's Alex when you need him?
Free.
Where's Alex when you need him? Kid Rock's Born Free. I guess I'm a closeted Kid Rock fan. I don't know. I think he's a colossal asshole. I like about 3 songs. I actually don't mind this album. It's a Rick Rubin album. Bob Seger's on here. Sheryl Crow's on here. Zach Brown's on here. It's not bad. He's still a colossal dickhead. So,
and is now banned from playing in California.
Thank goodness. He should be banned from playing music altogether, I think.
Yeah.
But, yeah. And that was 2. All right, here's number 3. Beatles record, but not what you'd think. The Decca tapes. I love this. I don't know why this has not been officially released. There's a few of them on the anthology, but the Beatles auditioned for Decca Records. There's a bootleg, obviously, prior to signing the deal with EMI. they did 15 songs for the Decca auditions, and like I said, I think 3 or 4 of them are on Anthology 1, and that's it. The audition's great, I think. And none of these are songs that you see them do. Okay, so Money. And I think that they did Memphis on Live at the BBC. And then with the Let It Be sessions, they did Besame Mucho. Other than that, the rest of these songs taken from their live show, they're not anywhere else. So these are studio quality recordings of 15 Beatles songs you can't get anywhere else. So if you want to, be a kind of hardcore Beatles fan or a completist or whatever, there are many different bootlegs of the Decca tapes, but I love the Decca audition. I think it's fantastic.
Paul's vocals on Besame Mucho are just so good. That cha-cha boom. It's just
Exactly.
It's so good.
They're all good. Just if you like their early stuff, the stuff they did on stage. It's good.
Did I tell you I'm seeing McCartney with Alex in November?
No, I didn't know. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm going up to Ohio and seeing him in Columbus with Alex.
I could have got tickets to see him in Hamilton, but the price tag, I couldn't justify it. Way too expensive.
Yeah.
All right, my last one is an artist no one knows, and I just love this guy. It's Bobby Charles. He is kind of the guy that sort of was one of the driving forces behind the Louisiana swamp pop movement, which didn't know what the hell that was till I Googled it months ago. How I know Bobby Charles. Bobby Charles is kind of a protege of Dr. John, the Louisiana piano player. And obviously Dr. John is friends with the band. So on The Last Waltz, Dr. John, or Mac Romanek is his name, comes on and does some songs with them. Bobby Charles plays with them in The Last Waltz, but you don't see him in the concert. But he's there. There isn't the way they cut it, you just don't see him. But they do thank him. You hear it on the record. Hey, it's Bobby Charles. So I was intrigued. Who's this Bobby Charles fella? And so I was record shopping a year and a half ago or so, 2 years ago, with Brian from Embryonic Robot and Chris from Stylus Meets Vinyl, and they had this in a record store. And this is a Craft Recordings reissue. And I'm like, holy shit! I'm going to buy it sight unseen, and I love it. It's that rootsy Louisiana, kind of stuff from the 70s. You could see how the band was drawn to what this guy was doing. So really like it. It's a gatefold. Oh, there we go. There you go. There's the man himself. So Bobby Charles. There we go.
Cool.
I'm not sure why, but when you show the Gimme Gimmes, it makes me think of the Surfajettes, and maybe you showed them together previously. But,
I have the Surfajettes first record,
and they're playing in Saskatoon again. All right, or I'd go, and like just a small club. I think it'd be fantastic. So it'd be really good. But yeah, it's middle of the week, so I might still go. But yeah, I don't know why it made me think of it when you showed the Gimme Gimmes. But yeah,
Yep.
Gary from a Physical Format's a big fan.
A huge fan.
Suffragettes. Yep.
Yeah. He loves them. And for me, they're a local band. They're from like an hour and a half away from here. And I've seen them a couple times and met them all. And yeah, they're fun.
I didn't know they were Canadian.
Yeah. They're from, I think they're from Toronto, but I think they're actually Peterborough, which is just the other side of Toronto.
When I think surfing, I think Canada.
Well, you would, wouldn't you? You absolutely would.
Yeah.
Do we want to do one more speed round?
sure.
All right, sure. Let's do it.
Yeah.
I'll just show what I have left here.
All right.
As quickly as that goes.
If you see me run upstairs real quick, Joe, it's because my son's still giving my.
It's all good. Yeah. No, that's good.
Issues, so you can steer the ship if I run away.
Sure.
All right, I'll just show what's left here. I wonder why she picked this, but this is interesting. This is one of the more unique albums in my collection. I guess you could call it a soundtrack, but as a kid growing up in the late 90s, early 2000s, this was a big show for me. Hey Arnold on Nickelodeon, but the music on it was very much like smooth jazz, And this was a record that came out a couple of years ago. Really, I was all over it because it had songs from the show as well as just some of the instrumental interludes. But look at cool vinyl.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah, just super cool custom labels. Love that show. It's a hilarious show from the 90s. My mom even likes it, as an adult. But yeah, I've got the whole series on DVD. I love this show. But yeah, great, like smooth, like saxophone jazz kind of music for a kid's show. Kind of like when Looney Tunes used to use classical music. Hey Arnold was like pulling in like smooth jazz. So this is a really cool, fun record that I have. This is interesting. I don't know why she pulled this. Death Cab for Cutie, Transatlanticism. I love Death Cab for Cutie. They were big in the late 90s, early 2000s. Their biggest song was I Will Follow You Into the Dark from their album Plans from like 04, 05. This is considered like one of their best albums. Kind of a concept album about a long distance relationship. The cover is like, you have this crow that, represents like flying from one place to the other. And the red thread is kind of like, I think thread from like a telephone, like you used to make as kids with like a cup and the string. I think it represents that. But some great songs on here. The Sound of Settling is a great pop tune. The lead singer, Ben Gibbard, is very much influenced by Brian Wilson, believe it or not. The New Year is another great song on here. What's the other song? Title and Registration. Just a really cool record. This was like the 20th anniversary edition that came out by Death Cab for Cutie. So Transatlanticism, some nice indie rock. And I've got two more here real quick. This is John Denver, Rocky Mountain High. Fantastic record again. People like to hate all over John Denver. He wrote a ton of songs, a ton of great catchy songs. This is one of his best. The second side of this just has like this thing called the Rocky Mountain Suite, which is, a season suite where he goes through like the season, summer, fall, winter, late winter, and then spring. But the big songs on here, Rocky Mountain High. He does a version of Mother Nature's Son, the Beatles song. He also does Paradise by John Prine on here. But really, really solid. I love this. This was like the 50th anniversary edition. So really happy to have that. And then lastly, the Zombies, Odyssey and Oracle. This is my one of the top 10 favorite albums of all time. And this weekend, on Friday, I'm very excited. This is going to be reissued in mono for the first time since the late 60s, which is how it was originally recorded. This has obviously Time of the Season on there. It was recorded after hours at Abbey Road. So a lot of the material a lot of the instruments on here were the Beatles were using to record Sgt. Pepper. And the Zombies kind of used it as like, budget instruments. So like, well, it's already here. Let's just go ahead and use it. So Odyssey and Oracle, it's a masterpiece of the British invasion scene. This is the Craft reissue that came out a few years ago. I can talk about this album forever, but Odyssey and Oracle by the Zombies. There you go.
Cool. Unbelievable album, unbelievable artwork, just the whole 9 yards, and then they went away, right?
They broke up before the album came out, and the word Odyssey is misspelled, so you can see how much the record company cared about him at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You watch from time to time when you're not on with us. Did you ever listen to that podcast, or did you hear me talk about that podcast?
Yeah, I remember you and Chris were talking about it. I finished it today, believe it or not.
Did you? Yeah.
It was very good. The presenter, the guy that hosted it, was a little boring to me.
Yeah.
Not a crazy fan of his, and like it seemed like they only had like 5 or 6 songs that they were allowed to use. Yeah. But the stories were interesting. I just wish they had a different host. But yeah, I did finish it today, believe it or not.
I agree with everything you just said. I didn't like the way you presented it, but I love the story. So
yeah,
I listened. I put up with it. So yeah,
it's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I got the wrong person. See, I screwed up the order already. God.
No, it's because I was talking. So no, it's not. But it's Daryl's official turn. It's because I was talking. You just made me big because I was.
I screwed it up for the last turn. God.
No, I wasn't gonna say a damn word.
All good. It's late. It's 10:08.
That's right.
All right, so what do we got here? I think I got 5 or 6 here to go. All right. There we go. Robert Palmer. Haven't shown him before.
That's a
Riptide.
great album.
God.
That's
Yeah.
a great
I love that
album. Addicted to Love. I mean, I remember that. His videos were always crazy though. With he always had those same group of women in those videos.
Yeah.
But this is a wonderful album. I mean, you can't go wrong with Robert Palmer. I mean, died a little too young, I think. I mean, he wasn't that old, and it's too bad he's not around to perform anymore.
I think he had a pretty good life
Here's
though
a-
when he was alive. I think.
This one's funny. This is a 12-inch single. Smashing Pumpkins, 1979, 12-inch single. You know what? I love Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness, but to try to buy a vinyl version of that is just crazy expensive. But it's a great album. Bullet with Butterfly Wings, Zero, those are all great songs. And 1979, you can't go wrong with a song that is basically the year you're born in. That's that.
Exactly.
What do we got here? Yeah, I've shown this before, but we can't go wrong with this. Every time I talk about Tool, I got to talk about how jealous I am that Joe has the follow up to this, which is the Anima album. But really, this is one of the first cassette tapes I ever owned. My mom bought this for me when I was in grade 9 or whatever it was. I listened to the crap out of that cassette tape to the point that it no longer exists and no longer works anymore. The thing this was the first album that ever had a song on it that literally scared the living crap out of me. I didn't realize that there was like 68 songs or 68 tracks on it, but there's like a big gap, and then all of a sudden they do that. That Maynard does that thing with the carrots on there and the rabbits, and it's just, if you're not expecting it, it's a pretty scary thing to experience.
Plus a very, I'll call it a little bit ahead of its time, a music video as well. They put some thought into Sober, obviously, is the one, right?
Yeah. I've got 4 more to go, and I accidentally saw the last one, and I know why she picked the last one. You guys are going to laugh when you see it. But you're not going to laugh at this one because this is an amazing album, Alanis Morissette.
Yep.
Near perfect album, all her hits. I think there's like 6 to 8 singles that are on this. Classic Canadian music, but of course I don't know if she still performs or not, but I know Rob, you talked about her. She
does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her
and Joan
favorite
Jett.
Alice in Chains album, The Jar of Flies. I think this is when it comes to grunge music, this to me is a masterpiece. Every song, every track that's on here. And it was my university study music. I used to listen to this while I studied. So Alice in Chains. Second to last, Elton John, Sleeping with the Past. What is on this one? Healing Hands, Club at the End of the Street. Yeah, those are great tunes. Oh, and this is the one that has Sacrifice. So if you're familiar with what's that? Was it Dua Lipa he collaborated with?
Yeah, or Doja Cat.
They just
one or the
did,
other. I think it's Dua Lipa. Yeah.
They
There was a couple.
redid it. Sacrifice, so Elton John. And of course, this last one. Need I say more about this? Everybody knows I dislike it, and so she threw it in there as a.
I love it.
I knew she was laughing about it, but yeah. I mean, I have it because I think I was gifted it. I've got
Because
a few
it's
ABBA
awesome.
albums. I really have to you know what I got to do? I just got to listen to it again. Maybe I'll take a new appreciation for it.
So good.
Yeah.
All right, Joe.
You know what? That's another one that comes in the shop. It goes right out right away. Like all the ABBA stuff. It doesn't matter, young, old, everybody likes it. So have a couple of beers out of that contraption behind you. Sit back, just put it on and enjoy Bjorn and the other 3 whose name escapes me at the moment.
Like I said, I've said this before. Funny enough, though, I actually liked Frida when she did her 80s solo stuff. I don't know. It's weird. I do like Frida's solo, though. There we go.
There you go. All right, let's finish this off. I got a sneak peek at this one. This is a fantastic album. This is Squeeze and Argy Bargy. Just good British pop from the late 80s. Yeah, early 80s, pardon me. But Muscles from a Shell, another nail in my heart. Really, really good stuff. If you haven't heard this, I would highly recommend it. Jules Holland of the Jules Holland Show. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Jules at all. Glenn Tilbrook on here. I thought that Carrick was in the band at this time, but he is not. But Paul Carrick's been a member of Squeeze as well. Also Mike and the Mechanics and numerous other things, including solo stuff. But really, really, really good, fun, and enjoyable to listen to album by
Great stuff.
Argy Bargy back in the day. What else did she pull here? The Turtles. I like the Turtles. Turtles, just good, just solid, that type of music. And I really like that, actually. And this is Golden Hits. So you get all the stuff that you could want from the Turtles on the White Whale label. So You Baby, So Goes Love, She'd Rather Be With Me, Grim Reaper of Love, It Ain't Me, Babe. Yeah, it's just Happy Together, of course, the big one. And this is number 4 in Your Hearts. I'm not sure why that.
And we just lost Mark Volman recently too from the Turtles.
That's right too. And I just showed this one a while ago, but a little K-Tel. What the hell? Just to finish it off. But this is a pretty good K-Tel actually, because it's a triple, and I think most of the songs are actually kind of their length because it is a triple. But I said it before when I showed it the first time. What's great about these K-Tel albums is sometimes, they were one-hit wonders and the rest of their album wasn't that great, but that one song was really, really good. I alluded to it earlier. There's a song by the 5-man electrical band called The Werewolf, which was only a 7-inch single, but then it's also, I think that one's on here. Might be a different one on here. I'm a Stranger Here might be on here, but Sweet City Woman by the Stampeders. Just a lot of good stuff. Rod Stewart, Maggie May. It had a little bit of everything. There is the U.S. version, which has a bunch of different songs. So that's kind of cool as well. Some are the same, but Simon Says, 1910, Fruit Gum Company. That's always a favorite. And what is the one that I'm trying to think of here? And I will not talk for very much longer, but it's these two right here. Their names, where is it? Talk amongst yourselves for a second. Well, Signs is on here by the 5-man electrical band. Band of Gold, Free to Pain. That's a great one-hit wonder. Venus, Shocking Blue. So, there's a lot of good stuff. Gary Glitter, the piece of shit that he is on here. Who are these people? Layla, Derek, and the Dominoes. I bet that's not the full version of Layla on here. Good Lord. Why can't I find these people? I know when I see their name. Mouth and McNeil. How do you do? I don't know. That's the song I was trying to think of. It's one of those fun earwormy.
That was worth the wait.
No, I know. I appreciate that. That's fine. That's fine.
John's upset that your wife didn't pull any Billy Joel.
She did not, but I don't know. I think I rushed her. Like I said, I think maybe we do this again and we let them pick their music specifically that they want to listen to. So
that's a good one.
That's how we finish. Okay. That's how we finish off. K-Tel.
I got 4. I've never shown this, I don't think, before. I love this band, Cuff the Duke. Sam, you'd like these guys. They're alt country from Toronto. They were around for a decade, and then they took a hiatus for another decade and then just put out another record. I've seen them a whole bunch of times. This is Wayne Petty, the lead singer. I know Wayne. This guy here is Dale Murray. He was in the original lineup of the band. His aunt is Anne Murray.
Anne.
There you go.
Really?
This was their not their debut. This was their second album. Their debut is called Life Stories for Minimum Wage. This came out, I don't know the original year, 2005. And I remember they had one single on here called The Ballad of Poor John Henry. I remember the video on Much Music. Just great alt country. I really love these guys. There's that one. Didn't come out on vinyl until 2018. So this one here is interesting. This is a singer-songwriter from Toronto named Greg Keeler. This is an album called Share the Love. Greg recorded this album in the pandemic, and he was all done with it. And Warner, which was his label, said, let's do a bunch of promo videos, record all the songs, when we'll video all of it live off the floor. And that actually turned out better than the studio version of the album. So they issued this is called the Lost Cause Sessions because it was recorded at Lost Cause Studios, which is Greg's studio. So the live off the floor, which was supposed to be the promo, became the Record Store Day version of the album, and then you could still get the studio version of the album. And this is really good. Roots rock, maybe, I don't know. It's like another band that I talk about a lot because he's also the lead singer of that band. But we're not going to talk about that. Joe's seen this record before, and actually this exact copy.
I have. Yeah.
One Bad Son, Black Buffalo. I love these guys. Joe loves these guys. They're from your neck of the woods-ish. Right?
Yeah.
They're
Saskatoon. Yeah.
Saskatoon.
Yeah.
Great rock band. They got about 6 albums, I think, now, Joe.
Yeah, it's along the lines of that. A couple were EPs, and then the one that we all want them, or at least you and I want them to reissue.
The self-titled.
I'll buy 2 copies if they reissue it.
Please.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is there's the fellas right there. The lineup has changed. It's still Kurt, the drummer, and this guy, the lead singer, and then the other 2 have changed a few times. Black Buffalo was the big song off here. This 2014. They're just a good, solid rock band. Kurt, who's a drummer, is also a well-known entertainment lawyer in Canada, represents a lot of musicians. He was in another Canadian band called Age of Electric. He's also the drummer for the New Pornographers. He was also in Limb Lifter, I believe. He's been in a bunch of Canadian rock bands over the years. Well, New Pornographers is not a rock band, but he's a well-traveled drummer, and I just absolutely love One Bad Son.
Psycho Killer remake on there too, which is pretty damn good. So yeah,
true. This is a fantastic record that kind of exploded. This is the Beaches. 4 wickedly talented young ladies from Toronto have taken the world by storm. They blew up in the States and they're traveling all over the world, and it's very angry lesbian rock, but it's great.
Yep. New album's good too, from what I understand. I've only heard a little bit of it, but
yeah, I've just heard the lead single off of it. I'll probably pick it up at some point in time.
Yeah.
Blame Brett was the single off of here, but I think it's one of the weaker tracks on the album, in my opinion. But these girls have been around for like probably 10 years, and for some reason, when this album hit, they just blew up. So
very good live too. Really good live, actually.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Okay, look at this. Devin knows what we're talking about. One Bad Son. There you go.
Yeah.
I just so want that self-titled because that is just such a great record. I mean, Retribution Blues is my favorite song. It's so good.
Yeah.
So good.
Agreed.
All right. We're way long in the tooth tonight. We'll go around the horn real quick. What's going on in your channel there, Sam?
Well, like I mentioned earlier with the Wood Brothers video, I just recently had an interview with their percussionist and drummer, Jono Ricks, who has a solo record due out in November, I think the 6th, off the top of my head. He's doing a duet. I say duet. He's doing a dual project with his dad, whose name is Luther Ricks, who was the percussionist for the Bob Dylan Rolling Thunder Review tour in the 70s. He also played with Leonard Cohen and has also played on lots of Broadway shows and lots of other studio sessions. So his dad's legendary. We talked for 38 minutes about the new record, about the Wood Brothers' latest release, which came out earlier this year. All this great stuff. I really enjoyed it with Jono. I've done a couple of videos about some cool upcoming releases. The Rolling Stones have a new release out, I think also in November for the Black and Blue album. A big deluxe version of that album is coming out. I'm excited for that. So I put out a video for that today, and I'll probably have something out tomorrow. I'm going to be away for the weekend, starting tomorrow night. So I wanted to have something else ready to go. I'm getting very close to monetizing, which I know it's not what you're supposed to be going toward, but I really wanted to get there just like as the next milestone on my channel. So I'm trying to get there. But yeah, lots of good stuff. Last week I did a whole series on Van Morrison albums and focused on Van Morrison for a week, for better or for worse. So lots of videos that I've put up in the last month, just to go check them out. But I'm really proud of the interview, and really want people to go and keep watching it, because it's an honor to get the opportunity to work with those people and to have managers reach out and say, hey, would you want to do this interview? And it's just so cool with my small channel to have those opportunities. So check it out, Americana Sam.
Well done, Sam. Daryl, what's going on with you?
Not too much lately. I dropped a video yesterday. It was that numbers thread, which I thought was really fun. I took, like, everybody seems to be doing a really different approach on that. I know Curtis did his. He did like all the first 10 digits of pi. He did all that. It came up with songs and albums with those numbers. And I know Peter from Music as a Journey, he did it a certain way. I can't remember. I just went 1 through 10, and Meatloaf made an appearance. So yeah, that's about it. That's all that's going on. I want to try to get another Juno video going. See what I can come up with there. Darcy Ska, his channel, he didn't send me an email, but one of his comments said that he had thought about doing the Juno thing before too, and he said that he'd be interested in doing a collaboration of some kind. So I don't know. I'm going to see if he gets a hold of me, and maybe we can collab on the Juno thing. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Cool. Joe?
I have no videos whatsoever in any way, shape, or form. Not completely true. I do for the store, but I actually was sitting and thinking today I might start to do stuff for the store. So I might keep my 12 things that shouldn't be here, but then invite people on to react to the 12 things that I shouldn't be here. So I might start doing that, and I might rely on some of my friends here possibly. So it's still going to be 12 things that are available to buy in the store, but it'll be, so I won't ask anybody to pick anything. It'll be, oh, what do you think about this? And then, well, that's crap, and that's fair, and that's the way that it's going to be. So I might start to do that. Beyond that, yeah, just stuff for the store, just promotion for the most part, but a fun way to stay out there and still doing this. I was finally on with Chris Mann. The old man himself on Sunday. Got a chance to hang out with Richard was on, and Trevor was on, and Chris and I, and Cam, who's got a pretty good channel as well, was also on. So had a chance to do that, and I still just love doing this. I love doing the videos, but I love doing this as well, just having the interaction with my mates as I reference Chris. So, yeah.
There you go. I did a video last week that no one's going to watch, and that's fine, but it was still fun to make. I ranked all of Blue Rodeo studio albums because for some reason 3 people in the last few weeks requested it. So I'm like, hell yeah, why not? So a grand total of virtually nobody has watched it, and that's okay. It doesn't matter. I had fun making it. And the people that
viewer, I watched the whole thing.
Oh, there you go. You and me are probably the only ones.
Little shocker about 5 days in July. I'm just saying.
I know. Everyone says that's number 1. I know Richard watched it. So, and I think the next one I want to do, I like your Juno one. And I've got such a ton of Canadian music. There's a lot of Juno winners here. So, yeah, I think I might do the Juno thing as well not this week, following week, because I'm only doing them every other week now. So, yeah, that's probably going to be the next one. That's it.
Right on.
That was fun. Thank you, guys. Thanks to our Mrs., whatever, wives that took time to pull some records today. That was a lot of fun, and I like the idea. Maybe we'll do this again in a couple months where we'll have them pull what they like from our collection, their music or whatever. So
yeah,
that'd be fun.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
That'd be
Sam,
cool.
it was great to see you. Haven't seen you for a while this way anyway, so it was nice to see you.
Yeah, it's been just a couple weeks ago. I guess you were.
Joe wasn't here that week.
I wasn't here.
Wasn't on.
I was gone. Yeah.
So no, I appreciate you asking me, Rob. It was fun.
Yeah, no, it was great. To all the folks watching, thanks for joining us tonight. We love chatting with you every week. And for those that are going to watch it later, thanks for spending a couple hours with us. Joe and Daryl and I will be back next week with another special guest. In the meantime, check out Americana Sam, and especially look at his interview video. It's very entertaining. We'll see everybody next week. So have a good evening.
Bye, all.
Good one.
Bye, everybody.